50 million views. You're listening to The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope you hang your mother. This country sucks! This place sucks! CNN masturbated all fucking day. Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I want to kill myself! If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
I hope everybody has their strap-on tonight. Tony Khan is gone freelance on Twitter or X or whatever we're supposed to call it now. I don't know. Hey, I hurt myself shoveling the other day. It was kind of cool. It's like the first. Finally, I've become old enough to like hurt myself shoveling. You know what I mean? Like I thought it would never happen. But it did. Finally happened. Give me the MJF theme. Give it to me. Give me the MJF theme. There you go. There you go. Give me that MJF theme. Yeah, I finally hurt myself shoveling. It's crazy. Because I was trying to speed shovel. You know, I haven't really been lifting anything, doing anything strenuous, and I went out there the other day, a couple days ago, and I was like trying to dig out, you know, like a maniac idiot. And yeah, something, I don't know, it's like up here. It's starting to feel better a little bit right now, but what a bitch. Like, and it's only I know it's because I was trying to like shovel it so hard and thick. Sounds sexual. And you know, big ice chunks and huge wet snow things. I don't know. Crazy. We haven't shoveled snow in 18 months until today. Or yesterday, rather. Had not shoveled snow until a couple of days ago. In 18 months, that's crazy to think that. That's like got to be some kind of record or something here in Massachusetts, at least. So, yeah. But yeah, not bad, man. Not bad besides that. It's been a little bit weird. But Tony Khan's getting a little bit weird on Twitter. Earlier today, I was on Twitter testing some things. I was testing, you know, Spaces. I did a little Spaces broadcast. I talked to Stone Mexican. That was cool. Play a little bit of that for you guys in a little bit. In fact, I'm going to play a little bit of that for you in a minute because a lot of you didn't hear it because I was on Twitter Spaces. Then I did a live stream on Twitter just to test that out. So that was fun. And, yeah, just had some fun. I'm waiting for Will to scam me out of Cash App money or whatever. I don't know. When anybody asks you for your Cash App, don't you just immediately think, yeah, that's probably some kind of scam. You know what I mean? I've got two authenticator, whatever it's called. It's usually a scam. But you never know. Maybe not. Might not be. Just always seems to be with Cash App or Venmo. People are like, what's your Venmo? Then the next thing you know, it's like, hey, sign up to this thing. But maybe not. We'll see, man. Will Salkin in the chat trying to give me some Cash App money. I don't know. Find out. One time somebody sent me like $20 on Venmo. That was pretty cool because I was able to get gas with that. The store took like Venmo. I was like, what? I logged into my Venmo. I never go on to Venmo at all, like almost ever. And I logged into it, and there was like $20 from like, and I felt bad because it was from like 6 months prior. You know what I mean? It's very strange. The roads are already super flooding, says Leah. Oh, great. Oh, the snow is blocking the drains. Oh, boy. I would have shoveled them. Hey, what up? Hello, Joe from Lyon, France. Yanis, what's going on, man? Holy shit, all the way in France. It's been a while, dude. You're the same guy that's... Yeah, I've heard from you before in France. There's a few people in France that we know. I have a few friends. You know what's funny? My daughter... we were fighting about this the other day in America because, you know, my daughter wants to learn French. She wants to do French class first. By the way, my daughter is really good at learning languages. Like, my daughter already knows a whole bunch of stuff in Spanish. She knows a bunch of things in, like, Japanese and Chinese. But, like, she wants to focus on one language. She's 9 years old, by the way. But, like, and she's like, I think I'm going to do French. And I'm like, oh, no. And only because it's, like, we just, you don't use French, like, much. You know what I mean? You speak French in France. You speak French in Canada in some parts. But it's like, that's it really, right? So, like, English is universal. That's good. But in America, there's just so much Spanish that if you're bilingual, you can make so much more money if you're bilingual. It's unbelievable. And so many people speak Spanish, and my daughter is so social that I said, you're going to do way better if you learn Spanish. Because when you come across a Hispanic person or somebody who's from Mexico or an immigrant or just somebody who's got a Hispanic background or Latin background, I'm like, when you're able to speak Spanish with them or say a lot of things in Spanish, they're going to be so impressed because you're like pale and redheaded. And when you start speaking, they're going to be like, whoa, like this gringo bitch speaks Spanish. Holy shit. And you're going to get over with them. Like, even if you don't speak too much Spanish, they'll speak English to you because they're like, it's respect. It's, even though we're in America, it's English, it's our country of English, you know, but like, it's just a thing where people be impressed. They'll be like, oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Like, they'll want to talk to you. So I'm like, you want to learn Spanish. Plus, if someone's talking shit about you, you're going to know it and they won't even know you know it. So you can be like, oh yeah, I'm a slut whore. What would you say? So yeah, it's just, I'm like, you got to learn Spanish, but she wants to do French. So, and my wife took French. My mom took French. I didn't take French because I'm an idiot, and French was just too hard for me. Like, it was just like, I couldn't get it. I get it, but I couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the pronunciations and everything else, like, you know what I mean? I just can't do it, you know? It's just, for me. But, like, my wife and my mom, you know, they got a good grasp it, so it makes sense my daughter would want to do French. But all the way, you know, the farmers are going nuts in France, just like in America and Canada and all over the world, really. But, I mean, France right now is like, oh, like they're ready to get it. Je ne peux pas le faire. I don't know. See, I can't do French. See? Told you. Bonjour. That's it. Shout out to France, man. What time is it out in France? What is it, 10 a.m.? Is it 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. or something? No, it's no, it's like 4 a.m. Is it 4 a.m.? What time is it? It depends on where you are in there, but I think it's 4 a.m. Yeah, Spanish, there is 21 countries speaking Spanish, 6 to 7 countries speaking French. Yeah, so that's obvious. Take Spanish. Exactly. That's the only reason. Like, it's only the math, like 2 plus 2, you know? That's all. I just think it makes more sense. But it would be cool. But also, I think if she learned French, then she should be able to learn Spanish right after that pretty easily. So I wouldn't be surprised if she learned French and then Spanish, my daughter, because she's just smarter than me. She is smarter than me, like 100%. We're going to talk about this Tony Khan situation. We got Mustafa on hold getting ready. If you guys want to donate, you guys can donate. The link is pinned to the top of the stream, and the donations work up there. Streamlabs, you can use that. Or, of course, you can use Stream Elements if you have credit card and card issues and things like that. You guys can use Stream Elements down below. Just let me know in the chat if you do use it. That way I can activate it. Also, Super Chats, memberships, whatever you guys want to do to support the show. This is your time, baby. It's Rage, Tuesday Night Rage. Tony Khan. We have been babbling for a while, but it's time to get into what's going on Twitter with Tony freaking Khan, man. He's losing his mind on Jinder Mahal. I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We got Tony Khan, Jinder, what he's doing on Twitter. We got Kevin Dunn is leaving or has left, and they got a replacement at WWE. Somebody sent me a clip of some guy, Asshole or something. I don't know what his name really is. It's like Asshole. And I heard some of his comments, and my God, did it annoy me. So we're going to talk about that. What else is there? That's it. That's the agenda for this show. I mean, there's plenty more to talk about too. I'm not going to rattle it all off. There's more to get to, and you'll be surprised by it when we get into it in a few minutes. But like I said, you guys want to bring up a topic, you want to discuss something, you want to change the topic, you want to talk about something, use no, Dork Knight did not get banned. I don't know. No. Did Dork Knight get banned? Why does the on hold section have his name crossed out? I don't know. He's on hold? I don't even see him. I don't see him on hold. Rojas. I don't see him. I did not ban Dork Knight, nor do I see him in the Discord. Let me go to I don't know. I don't see him. But anyway, let's get to this clip with Stone Mexican from earlier, and then we'll get over to talk about a lot of things. There's a lot of things to talk about. So let me get to this. Let's see. All right, give it a try now. This is earlier on Twitter Spaces. Check this out.
Okay, can you hear me?
There it goes.
Can you hear me? Uno,
Yeah.
dos, tres, cuatro, cinco.
Buenos tardes, señor.
Te voy a violar.
I don't know. That's about everything I know.
Oh, okay, I won't tell you what I just told you then.
Oh. It said something about. Did you say something about licking your under? I was dying
Listen to
laughing,
this.
but this is gonna be. I wish I was on here for right now. I'm going to do a couple things real quick, but I wish I was on here because I would just talk about this, whatever. So tonight we'll talk a lot about this. Tony Khan's fucking hilarious tweets are ridiculous.
Well, they're not hilarious. They're hilarious for all the wrong reasons, dude. It's like a bad movie that's so bad it's good. His tweets are so terrible, they're hilarious.
He's like as I don't want to say like as immature as I am on Twitter almost. It's
He's
like,
worse because he's a millionaire.
yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Like, I don't. He needs like I don't know. He doesn't care though. Like Eric Bischoff, people like that have told him these things, and he doesn't care. So like, it's funny when I tweet things like I joke around like, "Oh, hire me, Tony." It's like the guy wouldn't even listen to real people. So.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't have a football team, a soccer team, a wrestling company to run. You're just some dude on the internet that's fat. Like,
yeah, this guy's like supposed to be somebody.
yeah, well, it's not even supposed to be somebody. He's supposed to be somebody that has to have a respectable appearance. Like, do you think the NFL fans who the two Jacksonville Jaguar fans that are left on earth are looking at this guy like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, he I don't know, man. I'm starting to wonder how much sex he's had at this point.
With what though, men or women? Because he was hugging onto Cesaro pretty fucking passionately. It looked like he was like taking in his essence when he hugged Cesaro. He's like, oh.
That's taking in his essence. That is what he looks like. He's got a weird ass hug, dude. It's like he's got a giant erection and he doesn't want people to realize it. That's why he hugs him so bizarrely. You know?
No, dude. That is the hug you give to a bitch that you really want, but you can't have, and you're playing the friend role. Like, you know, in those cheesy ass, like, early 2000s, late 90s movie, The Best Friend, that wants to hook up with the girl, but she doesn't like him like that, so every time he hugs her, he's like, oh. That's Tony Khan.
Tony Khan is, but we're bisexual, and he wants to bang everyone. That's why he's nuts. That makes sense.
Well,
this explains everything.
I mean, if that was the case, I don't know, dude. I don't even think he wants to bang people. What if he just like wants to be around them?
You're right. Like he just wants a family that he didn't have because his dad was out making $1 million deals and stuff.
Well, what isn't he like Indian or something? Like Punjabi? What kind of Indian is he?
I don't know. I know he's Indian, but I don't know if I don't know. I don't know exactly. But what I do know is he's fucking unhinged on Twitter. So that's what I know.
Because I've worked with a lot of Punjabi dudes, especially the older cats, and those motherfuckers are some of the coldest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. Like, they expect so much of their sons. It's fucking crazy.
And his son's grown up like American, so yeah, it's just a whole different thing. Japanese fathers, you know, things like that. And yeah, and then they become an American, you know, jack off, and the father's just like, oh, you fucking piece of shit. What the fuck are you doing? But you know, Omar told us about that, but he's more like Middle Eastern Egyptian, and he, you know, his father hates him, but they were way more strict. But dude, I gotta run. Stone Mexican, I'll talk to you, man. Thanks for coming on to test this.
All right, Joe Cronin, I love you, buddy. Jesus loves you too.
Oh, Jesus loves you. Keep it hard and. Well, there you go. That was the conversation real quick with that was instantly that was right as Tony Khan was, you know, saying the stuff about Jinder that he said earlier. So that was right at that moment that we were talking about that. Yo, Suburban Cowboy. What up, dude? There's a lot of OGs in the chat, it looks like. What up, Big Merc? How you guys doing? We're going to have Rojas and Mustafa in a few minutes. Good to see Suburban Cowboy and a lot of other people, man. I reached out the other day to Constipated Rock John because I was talking to my friend about him, and he told me I should reach out, and I did, but I don't know what happened. But I did message you if you're listening. He says you listen still, but I don't know. So I could be talking to nobody, but you know, might as well put it out there in case you are. But there you go. He asked me what happened. Yo, go Welsh here, Lewis Money here. Tony is collapsing, says Allied Darkness. We're going to show the tweets in a minute, play some clips. Will Salkin is probably trying to hack my Cash App as we speak. Whatever he was doing, like, I don't know. My wife is hopefully alive. I didn't even know I had a Cash App, really. Never use it. Had no idea. It's crazy. I had not used that thing. I mean, I've got it. I have like logged in. It's like active, but it's like I barely have used it. So, but yeah, good luck hacking me because you'll get about $10. Unless he's really a real person and he's actually sending me money. It's just something about when people say, let me send you money on Vimeo or Venmo or whatever. Let me send you money on I just don't, like, you know. But, you know, I don't know. People send me money on PayPal, so could be real. Could be real. I don't know. On its way to Cash App. Man, he sends me 50 cents. Will, thank you, bro. I don't know if you're really doing that or not, but either way. We'll find out. Mysterious Black. Says scam. Yeah, it probably is. Probably is. Well, good luck, because there's nothing in there and it's not connected to nothing. But hey, if anybody else wants to send it, go ahead. They'll give it to this guy, Will. I've got your life now. I know, Will. I'm just fucking kidding, man. I don't know. There's nothing to scam on it anyway. But you know what I mean. Imagine that. Actually, Will's like a rich, like crazy rich person. And he's like, oh yeah, wait till you see this. Buys a Bugatti. I'm going to give you this car, Joe, but you have to drive it as your opening video segment for the rest of time on YouTube. And I'll give you this car. Buys a car that's like just this crazy Mercedes. No, the guy, even better. The guy runs a car dealership out of New York, right? This guy's a listener of the show. Runs a car dealership out of New York. It's called like, you know, Seamus's Cars, Seamus Mercedes. And he's like, listen, Joe, I'm gonna give you this Mercedes. Like I'm gonna sell it to you for $1. And I just want you to have it, you know. And I just want you to drive it at the beginning of every episode of your show. And I want you to say, hey, where'd I get this Mercedes? Seamus Mercedes in New York. And then, like, I give the address. And I put on the shades. And then I drive the thing, like, real fast. And we make a little intro video for it. And that's, like, my intro to the show forever. So the guy, it's like, yeah, how many people watch me from New York? Probably, like, 18% of the audience is from New York, right? Maybe a little bit less, like 13. It's probably 13%. I think it is 13% or something like that. So like 13% of the audience is from New York, right? So you get like, you know, whatever the views are, 3 to 5 million a year. So let's say we get 5 million views a year, right? Then you times that by like 13%. So, you know, it's basically like, you know, 600,000 people a year for the rest of time on my channel, or roughly around that, you know, get to see the Mercedes and the advertisement for the dealership. This crazy guy's like, whatever, it's just I got $1 million, no cars, and fucking just take this. And boom. I just want to see you in the Mercedes. It'd be great. And then like 2 weeks into it, I crash the Mercedes and I lose a leg. And that'll be a story forever. Oh yeah, I lost my leg. Well, this guy gave me a Mercedes, and I totaled it in 2 weeks. But all we got to do is get the footage of the opening video. That's all that matters. Just getting the opening shot with the Mercedes. And then just sell the Mercedes, right? Because what's the Mercedes? You know, it's going to be like a really fancy one, like a really, like one of the better Mercedes. You know, like one of the best ones. Like it's got to be something fucking crazy. You know, or maybe not. Maybe it's just got to be some bullshit, whatever. He's got laying around the lot, right? Whatever. But, you know, I guess then, would it be worth it to sell it then? By the way, Mercedes was founded on June 28th, which is my, it's my birthday. So, I don't know what that means, but it means something. Let's take a look at some of the Mercedes. What are the prices? Yeah, so we could take, any one of these. Something like a, oh, man, I have maybe like an SL or something. If we want to get convertible in the Northeast. Probably not. Probably a CLA. Probably do the CLA. It's something, that we could actually drive. But, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, we're gonna go to the Discord in a minute. Tony Khan, we're gonna read his tweets online. No, and I'd probably go $60,000 right on the Mercedes, and then I just sell it. You just sell the thing. Blizzards are goated. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of wind tonight. It's gonna get a little bit crazy tonight. Tony saying Hook is 28-1, like it means anything. All Hook's matches are on a pre-show. Only belt he had was his dad's. The unknown voice. Oh, my God, bro. It's got to be. We've got to start at the beginning with the Tony Khan situation. We got to start the very beginning, everybody.
I don't want
Daddy's here. Daddy's here. Daddy's here. Daddy's here.
Ooh, daddy.
By the way,
Yo.
nice job with the NDA music video earlier, dude. I actually like that one.
What?
Honestly, Joe,
The
I know I
NDA video that you made
Oh,
earlier.
I thought you said NBA. I was like, what NBA thing happened?
Oh, what? Because he's black? You think it has to do with basketball? Come on,
Yeah, that's
Joe.
all they ever
Listen.
think about.
NDA song, by the way. I know I shat on it the other night, but I was like tired and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And I kind of shat on it, but it has been in my head for the past few days now since re-listening to it.
Yeah.
You are
The NDA.
Well, I think the problem why I think it doesn't matter to you is because you missed the setup where I was playing like Jesse kind of like meandering all day to me. All day he was sending me clips like, I'm Tony Khan, sign my NDA, like, Kylie Ray's ass, like, and all these just goofy things he was saying to me all day. And so I think once I set that up and then you hear the song, it's funny that way. But if you just hear the song, you're like, okay, I don't know.
well. I mean, because you were telling me, oh, you heard this hilarious song, so I was like, that's a good. Honestly, I was like, yeah, it's a good song. Like I ended up just liking it as a song instead of it being like funny to me.
I tried to be like, at one point I was like, you know what? This is way funnier if I pretend Jimmy Buffett is singing it. Like, I don't know.
I mean, you have like a knack for just getting like these earworm songs stuck in my fucking head. And oh look, everybody's favorite Tardo, Pacharo.
What up?
Pacharo, I think honestly, Tony Khan,
Yeah, he's
can-
autistic.
is a contender for the stupidest person next to you on the entire planet.
Why you brought me up? We're talking about another subject.
I'm just messing with you. I love you, dude. I love you.
He's got a point, yeah.
Do a swanton
Bro.
though, off the house.
Bro, we got so much to dive into tonight, man. I mean, this all started at like 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm in the middle of doing a job, and then all of a sudden, my phone
Wait a minute,
keeps
you were
blowing
doing
up.
a job? Who are you jobbing to?
That sounds
I was
like you
doing-
killing.
I was doing
Or like-
contracted work.
You know
today.
what?
I was
Can
doing
you
contract
stop
work.
using lingo from wrestling in your real life?
I know, right?
I was doing a. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Wait, you thinking I'm gonna lose to somebody? No, I'm always win, dude.
I know.
never doing
I'm
a job.
kidding. I'm joking. I know what you mean. But yeah, go ahead.
match
So-
down street.
All right. So basically, on 4:30, Tony Khan sees a tweet from USA Network, which, by the way, and I was just talking about this with Luke Rojas, that the USA Network has been making weird tweets, trying to like interact with the WWE superstars to kind of get them to trigger to make a response so they can use that for TV or whatever. And in this case, they were basically poking the bear when it
Twigging
came
Tony.
to a match. Yeah, with Tony basically, and Tony responds with the first tweet. I'll read it out to you guys. And there's actually two tweets that he put out. First one was, if I have it right here. Yeah. So he goes, a double standard. Hook, 28-1 career record on winning streak, calls out the champ. A logical challenge sparks online outrage. Jinder has literally lost every single
Wait a
match.
minute. Did you read the USA tweet yet? What is the tweet that started everything?
Oh God, I have so many tweets on my phone here. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, right here. USA goes, what was the cage match rating? And then Tony goes, a moral victory for USA is one win more than their world title challenger Jinder Mahal has in the past 364 days, because it's been literally a full year since he won a match. You really put AEW in our place, getting Jinder Mahal in a big match on your TV show. Do it more often.
Wow.
And then following the tweet, basically saying Jinder has literally lost every single match for the past year. Immediately gets title shot. Where is the rage? So now Tony's trying to act like a fanboy. He's trying to basically, I understand what he's trying to get at from a logical point of view, but he's acting like a fanboy. And
sorry,
then
wait, Rostava,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I feel like you named the first two tweets that he replied to, but I don't remember what the tweet that like the USA Network actually said. I only heard the reply.
No. Basically, the tweet that USA said was, what was the cage match rating? Basically saying, I think if they were trying to compare a match that AEW did in comparison to WWE. And that pretty much set everything off. And then following that, like people like Bully Ray and Corey Graves were all taking jabs, basically saying gender rules and gender this, gender that. Tony Khan then responds to Eric Bischoff when he put out a clown emoji on Twitter. And then Tony replies with I can't remember the movie that this is from, but basically the gif is, "Get out of my sight, you miserable has-been." And literally, Eric finds this so funny. He grabs an old clip of him being on AEW TV when it says "groundbreaking pro wrestling executive" on the name tag when you come out to the ring, and he goes, "Groundbreaking miserable has-been." So he sees this, and as all this is going on, by the way, guys, Jinder's name grows to number 2 on the worldwide Twitter verse, if you will, at number 2, and then eventually goes to number 1 worldwide, trending with Tony Khan, and then eventually trending with Hook, and then Jinder Mahal's
trending with purple anal beads.
I mean, again, I don't know about that, but then Jinder Mahal tweets out, "Who the heck is, or I'm sorry, who the F is Hook? Watch Monday Night Raw on USA Network." And by the way, Joe, the moment he put out that tweet was when I thought, this reminds me of Tony Schiavone in 1999 on Nitro. I believe it was January when Mick Foley won the title from The Rock. And Tony Schiavone goes, "Wow, that's going to put some butts in the seats." AEW just gave Monday Night Raw free publicity going forward.
And it would be hilarious if, like, you look at the top. You look at the top trending Twitter stuff, and then just number 6 is like, "Oh, an orphanage burned down," and still tonight.
They're honestly kind of giving each other, attention, to be honest. Like, we're actually getting a lot of attention for AEW too, because Jinder Mahal tweeting it really brought a lot of attention to AEW. Like from
oh Lord, and then Tony, Bischoff comes right back and he goes, "Hey Tony, is it true that you're a bot?" Because apparently he's getting a lot of trolls that are at Bischoff, and he was just sort of trying to be like, "Hey, are these your trolls, Tony?" And Tony goes, "No, not true at all." Abandon apparently is a AEW talent, returned to AEW, and then they won Abaddon. I'm sorry, Abaddon. Thank you. And they won a 4-way match on TNT against other great wrestlers to earn a title shot, which is completely different than someone going a full year, losing every match, therein plus getting a title shot without a single win. Reading would help you, my friend.
Oh my God.
Dude, and it goes on. Oh, Eric Bischoff fires back. "Oh, kid, my reading comprehension skills are wizard-like." By the way, that was one of Dave Meltzer's wicked comebacks whenever he get called out for his BS. Coincidence, or are you really that deep? And then Meltzer gets involved. Dude, sorry I prepped you for that Landsberg interview where you made the claim about how you averaged 5,400 tickets sold the prior year and bragged about it. The guy didn't have Hogan, Flair, Savage, or Piper, and has doubled the ticket prices and equaled your number. One of us actually studies numbers. The other calls names because he can't remember nor has any research capabilities.
What is Meltzer even arguing? That they did better business?
I don't know.
What a retarded argument that one is. The number. What numbers do you do that equals that AEW does anything comparable to what WCW did back in the day?
Apparently 1 and 1 equals 3. I don't freaking know.
I fucking hate Dave Meltzer. I hate these fucking smart mark pieces of shit that keep saying, "Honestly, nowadays modern wrestling's doing better than what the Attitude Era was, possibly." It wasn't. No, it isn't.
Luke,
it's not
Luke,
anything like that. Holy shit.
It gets even better from here. It gets even better from here because now wrestlers are trying to defend Khan, right? Dax from FTR comes out of nowhere, and he posts a video on top of the clown emoji tweet that he did, and he puts out a video where Eric Bischoff is calling out Vince. And remember that pay-per-view? I think it was NWO Sold Out, where he challenged Vince to a match, and Vince didn't show up or whatever. And basically, he's trying to say that you're talking about Tony Khan calling out WWE, but didn't you call out WWE at one point? And he then says Hook rules. And then basically Sean
did it, except when Eric Bischoff did it. He called him out in a badass way with the fucking NWO.
I'm getting that. I'm getting to that actually, because he did make a tweet like that.
He didn't hop on Twitter and start complaining like a fan who watches the show and is disgruntled with it. He honestly, Tony Khan's tweets reminded me of some of the fucking shit that you'll see in the YouTube comments of Joe's Raw reviews. What the fuck is he doing? Why are you advertising at all that you actively watch enough to know that Jinder lost every match he had last year? How do you know that?
There's databases online, Luke. You know that there's people that actually keep up with the results and stuff like that, and they post them online and they count them up or they tally them up.
Shouldn't show any sign of knowing or caring. Why would you care?
Well, caring's the thing. Caring's the thing. Knowing is one thing. Caring is another. And apparently there are people that apparently care about this more than all of us that are on this chat right now. But then Sean Ross Sapp gets involved. You cannot tweet that
I really wish he would die. I want Sean Ross Sapp to be fucking.
I know you do, but you can. Basically, he says you cannot tweet that you like Jinder, Hook, or wins or losses matter and emerge unscathed right now. It's just a war.
Wait, who is Sean Ross going after?
Eric Bischoff.
Of course he is, because he's paid by Tony Khan.
And then, I'm going to get to that because he actually tweeted about that too.
Because, bro, he sides with this is why the little guys who are big-ish side with Tony Khan, because WWE doesn't need them, so they only give them a little bit of love. But AEW gives
them some sources.
A lot. But AEW gives these guys a ton of love because that's all they have. You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah. So
that's why Meltzer and Sean Ross love Tony Khan.
So then Eric Bischoff comes back and he says they can matter if the story matters. A statistic, if you're booking for data geeks or strategic data geek wannabes. So basically, he's trolling. They're getting controlled up, and there's just so many fans. Oh, actually, there's this one guy I want to shout out. Shout out to Wrestling Curious. They actually got this right, and followed by Garza, who says you punched up WWE.
You dirty the gene pool by mixing races, right?
No. This is a completely separate deal from that. No, trust me, I know what you're talking about. So you punched up to WWE the moment Nitro became a thing. You hung your hat on taking shots at competition, and it was very effective for WCW. Why don't you object to this? And then Garth basically says, he kicked Vince's ass. There's a difference. And that's the difference night and day between Bischoff and Tony Khan. At least Eric was beating Vince 83 weeks straight. Tony Khan has not beat Vince as far as when it comes to NXT, yes. When it came to Raw and SmackDown, not even close.
What I think we should acknowledge is the fact that Joe Cronin is the shortest co-host of the Ken Bowens podcast. And, I just thought we'd just bring that up real quick. But anyway, yeah, it's just insane, the fact that, it really feels like Tony Khan has no place of being anywhere near in charge of not just a wrestling company, but anything, really. Like, he really does act like super unprofessional.
Childish.
Yeah, well, childish is too. Because you could say that Vince was childish at some points. The biggest problem is that he's so out and open with his unprofessionalism that there's way too much of what Tony is thinking and what he his opinions are. With Vince, you just knew that he was like this weird fucking guy who likes throwing people in pools and he doesn't like sneezing. He had this mystique to him. So I don't know. It's just I'm just noticing the complete drastic comparison between the two of them. Tony Khan is the exact opposite of a Vince McMahon type of person.
Oh, completely. Oh no, Luke, completely. Check this out. And I said this before. Vince is again, Don Corleone. He's the Godfather, right? He owns everything. He doesn't know something that maybe probably one person doesn't know because he has people that speak in his ear, right? Tony Khan is like the corner hustler, right? Like he's got a fancy little thing going on, but in comparison to WWE in various respects, and I'm not necessarily talking about creative, I'm more so talking about just in general as business, there's no comparison. And at this point, and by the way, and I want to ask you guys this. Vince McMahon, imagine if Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all social media were around back during the Attitude Era. You think Vince would be going on his Twitter going off like Tony Khan would be? In my opinion, gangsters work in silence.
Wait, what?
Think about it. Gangsters work in silence, right? You think back in the day during the Attitude Era when WCW and WWE were going head to head, right? You think that Vince McMahon would be acting out like Tony's been acting out on social media in this manner?
No,
but exactly. And
we know Tony Khan is a mess. Like we know that.
But just look at the comparison with Triple H, though. Like Triple H is kind of that same part of where he's like not always silent, but he never really gives you a straight answer until like.
He'll give you a few jabs. He's given a few jabs here and there. I mean, in the Cody Rhodes documentary a few months ago, basically he said that, you know what I mean, why would you want to work with a second-rate company? You know what I mean? He said, of that vernacular. But then again, you have other guys that have, talked crap about AEW. Even I can't remember who it was, but it was like right before AEW started Dynamite. And so somebody said, why don't you go work for AEW on, this was on Raw. And that was the only ever time that I remember AEW being uttered on WWE television. And then maybe Shawn Michaels at the Hall of Fame when they got inducted with DX saying, it's nice to see you, being all in, that type of thing.
I mean,
so
Roman did take shots at it when he was doing promos of Cody, but he didn't say it by name. He was just like, "Oh, you went to your own company, you couldn't even get over." So
right, but it was very subtle. There weren't like any. It wasn't as you said, a direct shot. But AEW have taken more and more direct shots. But now the fact that the boss, the owner of the company, is taking shots on Twitter, which is an open forum where anybody can make an opinion about anything, is now getting heat because, again, not only being the boss, but he's basically talking about something. Yeah, I get it. It's an opinion, but it seems like almost weakness at this point that Tony is really showing signs of fatigue and that he's unable to control, which, by the way, I've said this before, he's reacting. He's not responding.
It's just a bad look to me because it makes it seem like he watches the show. And then there's so many of these.
Of course he does.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many of these AEW fans and like who are so diehard and like, fuck WWE fucking sucks, piece of fucking shit, and I'm fucking never watching it. Thank God AEW saved me. And it's like, dude, literally the fucking owner of the company is watching and reviewing the show. Like, why?
Well,
because he's a fucking fan of it.
Here's what I don't understand. Why is he treating it like there's like a vendetta that's, what I'm going to just say, it reminds me of like YouTube issues that I've had with random people in the past, like way back in the day, like way long ago, where it's like what is the beef? Like Tony Khan creates a company and so he just like sort of punches up all the time at WWE when they didn't really necessarily punch down at him, but maybe they did because, like, am I wrong? Because WWE made strategic moves business-wise to sort of fuck with AEW, and I think
but they've done that before with other wrestling companies.
Right, but what the problem with Tony is instead of fighting it in a business way, right, in a business manner, instead of fighting it that way, he's verbally like throwing these sort of like tantrums and defending, and he's always
under pressure, dude. He's under deep pressure.
But why, like this comment does, like, it's not going to change anybody's mind about anything other than make you look bizarre. Like, like this is not what he should be. But like, what can he do?
It just makes it look like too much of your time is being consumed by reading comments, which it's like, I mean, for a normal average Joe like me and you, Joe, we're average Joes, drinking some lukewarm Joe in the morning. But, Tony Khan's supposed to be a billionaire. He's supposed to be the fucking owner of a company. You would
You're supposed to
think
be
that
a leader and a booker of a company that is supposed to keep his cool, and he's not keeping his cool.
Yeah, but this is just par for the course, bro. I mean, we've heard he cannot get hold of his own wrestlers. He's lost Punk. He lost Cody Rhodes. He's lost so many other things. So, like, this is just
he's
par
lost
for
personnel behind the scenes like QT Marshall and Ace Steel.
Write the list. I mean, well, listen, QT Marshall and Ace Steel, I don't even blame that much because they're friends with the bigger guys who left that company that got them into that company in the first place. So that I don't really care. But, like, all the other main names that they've lost and people that they've pissed off along the way, that's the problem. And this guy's a mess with everything. This is a guy, Tony Khan is a guy who said, my life is in danger. But then also the other day at the press conference, as we all have already made fun of, said that they're the safest company ever or whatever, the safest wrestling company.
Yeah, after the whole Jericho accusations.
As if that's a metric that you can measure that actually goes on. But you know what? It's like if you do look at it, it looks like you're not one of the safest companies.
And Joe, on top of that, the one thing that I'm not really in agreement with Tony, especially within the last number of months, he's saying, oh, we beat this record and we beat that record. Well, he's losing business in the arenas. How can you say you're doing it? And also, by the way, you have a second TV show on a Saturday, sometimes competing with a WWE PLE, and you're losing viewership.
Right. I just think it's a very, like you brought it up, Joe, where it's like, well, you know, maybe he's just punching back at them for doing strategic business decisions to screw him over. I mean, literally he. And I know I've said it's and literally a million times. I know Macedon will fucking remind me, you piece of shit. But they moved Dynamite. I've talked about this to where NXT was for years. 4 years. You can try to prove me wrong. You're fucking wrong because NXT was on Wednesdays for years. Some people say, no, it was on Tuesday. No.
It was online. That's why.
But it was on a Wednesday. NXT was basically what AEW fans watched before AEW when it came to American wrestling, you know, not New Japan and shit like that. That's to a mainstream crowd. That was what they were watching. And they moved it strategically on Wednesday to take care of NXT because nobody's going to want to watch, you know, the third B-level show when they can go watch AEW with this new
on
exciting
network.
on a network. So that's one strategic move they've done. Then also the amount of talent that they have acquired from WWE that they've also, you know, some of them that they've lost as well to WWE. But then not only that, but then also you have a show that adjacent to pay-per-views. You should put a show that's adjacent to, you know, some of them that they've lost as well to WWE.
Sorry about the feedback.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry, I didn't know if that was like Rostava or something. Yeah, so you know, they did all of that. Not to mention that they're bringing up WWE constantly. They're fucking taking shots at them constantly. Just you know, the superstars adjacent to, you know, high. I keep hearing feedback. Sorry. Literally, the high executives of the company, the fucking owner of the company, is talking shit about WWE. So then when WWE does it, it's like this vast conspiracy against Tony Khan. They're all trying to fucking keep me down. Like, no, it's fair game. You want to fucking take shots at WWE, expect shit to come back. WWE's not going to play it easy on you because they you're just a little company. And then when they honestly, like the point that you made, Rostava, earlier, where you said Triple H insulted WWE or insulted AEW by saying it's a second-rate company. He didn't say that. He said Cody didn't want to win, didn't want to be stuck in a basically second tier or like secondary company.
Second tier. Yeah, same way.
Yeah, like secondary. He didn't call it second rate. Second rate is like this negative connotation, but it's true. AEW is a secondary company compared to WWE. That's a fucking truth. It's not some fucking bullshit spin on it like AEW fucking fans try to do, like Dave Meltzer, by trying to make some bullshit claim that AEW somehow did better in business than fucking WCW. Like, are you insane?
Well, to be fair, and Triple H, it's funny because he even said at the Hall of Fame when he got inducted with DX, like, well, eventually, we'll buy this company, and stuff like that. And at this point, Tony Khan lost his biggest meal ticket in CM Punk when it came to from a financial point of view. He lost Jade in terms of, okay, she's not the great wrestler now, but she will be because she's putting the work in now. But she wouldn't have done that if she didn't leave AEW, but she has the star quality. And then before all of that, lost Cody. Behind the scenes was more valuable than what he was on screen, fairly. And yet, here where they are. They're literally, there hasn't been any momentum shift in terms of upward. As far as crowd attendance has been slightly going up, like the Newark show did pretty well. Daly's Place, I'm pretty sure is going to be a sellout, even though it's a smaller venue. And Revolution is almost sold out based upon WrestleTix. But other than that, there's really no increase in terms of fan attendance, whether if people are really enjoying the storylines other than, right now we're heels or practically baby faces. There's really no hardcore heels that people can want to boo because everybody wants to, cheer for everybody. And on top of all that, you got all this baggage backstage that are leaking out online and people saying this about other wrestlers and half of it not even being true. So now all of this is being played out on social media. And then again, Dave Meltzer tweeted this out, where we talked about this earlier about payroll, and this is both Sean Ross Sapp and Dave Meltzer, where people were asking him, hey, are you on the payroll? Meltzer's like, nah, I'm just in the habit of correcting liars. If you read today, had to correct some anti-WWE people as well. Sean Ross Sapp says about $8 less a month than you're paying Elon that you'll never make back. So I'm thinking you guys are making this worse than what it already is of what's actually happening backstage. Hence all the crap that happened with Punk and the Bucks because of false rumors and innuendo that stirred that whole pot up in the first place. And now Tony Khan is now being part of the problem.
And lack of leadership. They have
lack of leadership.
There's just no checks or balances there.
I just think that, again, Sean Ross Sapp is a scumbag, so I don't really believe much of what he says almost. And I don't mean about rumors. He gets things right and he gets sources and things like that. I get that part of it. I just mean when it comes to his pure thoughts and opinions on these people, those people, blue check marks, those check marks, that's easy to say from a cocksucker who makes $50,000 a month. So it's like, I'm pretty sure Fightful has 10,000 patrons. So that's like $50,000 a month. You know what I mean, on Patreon. So it's like he's just a fucking dipshit. And his eyes are too close together. And we know what Meltzer does. Meltzer is going to lean in the favor of AEW because Tony Khan gives him access to everything. Probably gives him money, potentially. I don't know.
Based upon what Meltzer says, apparently not. But you would think that he probably would get a little chump change here and there.
Are you telling me that Meltzer is saying he doesn't make money?
I literally just said, based upon what he said, I don't believe what he says, but I'm just saying what he actually tweeted.
I know. He probably got paid from New Japan too. Fucking how else do you explain him giving those?
Oh God, can you imagine him going to Japan? Don't just literally give him a limousine free just for talking about how great the country is as far as sports go.
Of course you would. Why wouldn't you? Listen, if you're a wrestling company, you're gonna look at who's the big boys, right? Who are the big boys? Okay, Wrestling Observer Dave Meltzer right here. That's top guy right there. And then
outside of the country, yes.
And then Fightful, and then but so you're going to be like, yo, we need to get the top 3 to 5 U.S. media outlets, to cover us. Invite them here. Of course you're going to do that. What Dave Meltzer, wrestling's different. Right, than other sports a little bit. Not really. Other sports operate this way with the media too. So, but the media in all sports, and especially in wrestling, are like how influencers are now treated as well. Like influencers are treated like the media, even though they're not media, right? Like even if you're not media, you're considered media now. Like I was considered media all the time. Like we got you a media badge. Well, I'm not really media. I'm a YouTuber who covers wrestling, talks about it, gives my opinions, but I'm not really media. Basically
like a social media sensation, like a Logan Paul.
Whatever.
Who may not necessarily be
It doesn't have to be that big. You don't have to be that big. All you gotta have is 5,000 subs. They'll give you fucking media passes.
You're trying to explain it while someone's trying to give you a press pass. Here's your press pass. I'm not pressed. I'm like, I'm like media. I'm like JCS. That's kind of my brand.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
JC
Like, there's a guy literally that comes from Sports Illustrated, to this event to cover it for the magazine. There's those sort of things. And yeah, it's almost the same thing. I'm just saying that, like, wrestling is a blurred line. There's so much more opportunity to manipulate. Like, actually, to be honest, if Tony Khan or one of these companies was brilliant, what they would do is, you would just create your own media company. Like, I can't believe the WWE hasn't done that. All the stuff the WWE has done with this, that, Ica Pro, our own film company and all these other things. Why in the world? And I know that they'd rather just partner with, like, ESPN and people like that. And they don't necessarily partner with Dave Meltzer, but they still leak things the same way anybody else would. But, like, why hasn't the WWE just created something, like, without anybody knowing about it, really? Like, been like, yo, this guy, that guy, and we're going to hire some people, and we're going to call it, sports whatever. Jericho does it? Jericho does it.
They had the well, WWE, and again, this is not in comparison as far as leaking out dirt, because WWE will only release out so much information of maybe what was going on behind the scenes, but they had their magazines where every once in a while they would do a story. Let's say Bret Hart coming back. Like, there was, they did a full extensive interview, and they really didn't edit anything that Bret said. Everything that Bret told them, they put out. And that was at the time when he came back and did the DVD, because originally he had heard about what they did with Warrior, and he's like, I got to take control of this DVD because I'm not going to get jobbed. And basically, the original title of that DVD was going to be Bret Hart Screwed. That was the original title of the DVD. And they had the magazine for a bit, but that's not like what Meltzer does or what any dirt sheet writer did, or people over at the Torch or anything like that. And even if they could do that, there's only so much that WWE would want to put out, because if somebody takes something out of context, they're going to turn that on WWE and say, well, wait a minute, we have this about you that you wrote back in the day, and we can use that against you because we think that you're a bunch of hypocrites and your word doesn't mean anything. That's why they don't do it.
Right. And it goes back to the point of, like, listen, I like again, I'll just say it like I always say it. I like Tony Khan. I like that he's given us this option of another company. We've been on board with AEW since the beginning. I've been sucking AEW's ass since the beginning, but also,
You bought merchandise from them.
I bought merch from them. I've crapped on them for the things they've done wrong, but, like, I've also loved many things that they did. But the longer they continue, the worse it seems to be getting. So
the truth comes out even further in terms of how they deal with things. And like I said, the way they're handling this is they're more so reacting, not responding. Vince responds. Triple H responds. Tony Khan reacts.
Yes.
And that's the only difference.
That's a great point. Well, and here's the thing. They're in a better position to do that. We all know that. But not only have they been in a better position to do that right from the beginning, we all knew that, but, like, they're really in a good position right now. Like, this is the time where I feel like this is the time where if you're Tony Khan, you lay low and you start working on all the things you can do to climb out of this. If anything, you want to have favor with the wrestling community, even the people that don't like you, maybe. You kind of want to,
even Men Bridges at this point, because Eric Bischoff was freaking trending
right
at number 2, and Bischoff is probably in a better position than Tony is, because he's not attached to WWE or AEW. He has his own podcast with Conrad, and he can speak freely about anything he wants without getting necessarily. I mean, again, he's probably burned a bridge with Tony.
But you know what? Eric
criticism.
Bischoff is not the fucking. I've listened to some of the shit that Eric Bischoff has said too, and he's not the brightest bulb either.
No, but I'm just
Eric Bischoff was suckered into making a website with that idiot from Chicago, Nick. What's his face?
Nick
Hausman.
Right.
Nick Hausman, the guy who's like, Jericho's a rapist, basically.
Right.
Nick Hausman suckered Eric Bischoff into like, yo, I got this website idea. So, like, Eric Bischoff is, I don't know, man. It's like Eric Bischoff's a weird guy. Eric Bischoff is a guy, I think this about Eric Bischoff, and I love Eric Bischoff too. You know, we all grew
I
up.
met Eric Bischoff. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I had an hour conversation with him about business stuff, and didn't make sense. In 1 hour, let me just put it to you this way: in 1 hour, I was able to tell. I went from being excited to like, holy shit! Me and JD are on the call with Nick Hausman and Eric Bischoff about this great idea. I can't wait to see what it is. And within about 40 minutes into the call, I realized this is not going to work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on the call with these people and Eric Bischoff, and I had to be the one to say, guys, I don't think this is going to work, and here's why. And they kind of, but then they sort of like were like, well, yeah, but you know, I don't know. And then they, you know, you could feel the excitement,
The awkwardness.
yeah, a little awkward, right? Like, here's this YouTuber, and we're trying to whatever. And I just explained that to them, and I said, I'm assuming most other people are like this too. And if you have 100 fans, you might convert 3 of them to your paywall, maybe, right? And so, but if you already have 1 and 2 paywalls, and now you're going to add a 3rd paywall, why would people want to pay you 3 times at different places for different content? So, like, I just want you to think about that.
They're making porn.
Right, unless, over here I'm jerking off in Eric Bischoff's mouth, and you want to see that, guys? Because that's pretty crazy.
Oh, God. I got something to tell you as far as that goes, because
What?
Anthony, no. This is legit. Anthony Bowens.
Oh, just talk.
Anthony, I just have to get this out of the way because he just brought this up. Did you hear about Anthony Bowens from the Acclaimed and what happened on Twitter?
No.
Okay, this is just a sidebar. Anthony Bowens, for those of you who don't know, he came out as gay
We know
a number
that.
of years ago,
Yep.
but somebody had trolled him and basically was trying to – so basically he was defending Tony Khan. So in terms of what he said, some guy comes after him and says, so the whole AEW roster is dick riding Tony Khan, and then Anthony's going, Hook is one of my best friends, go away. And then says, the same guy says, nobody knows you, bro. No one knows you and no one will ever know you. Go home with your kids and go scissor your wife or something. And then Anthony Bowens comes out of nowhere, goes, I'm gay, bitch. And then the FTR and everybody else is just like, let's freaking go. Like, screw him, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, guys, stop.
You guys are. This reminds me of when JD said something about like someone posted an out of context clip from JD talking shit about Alexa Bliss.
Oh, yeah.
Joe remembers this. And then all the fucking Sonya Deville, Braun Strowman, they were like, I'll fucking find this motherfucker and I'll show him how you treat a lady with my fucking AR.
I remember that.
Braun Strowman was like, look at my weapon, basically. Where's the clip of that? Because it's really funny. Where's the clip of Braun Strowman? Oh my God. It's called Joe Cronin Saves JD or something like that. I don't know. Oh, where is it? Oh God, I wish I could find it. I came to his rescue. I don't know where that is. I wish I had it dialed up because I found it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, because Braun Strowman's clip is very funny. Where is it? Pro wrestling coming from a guy that can't do it well to begin with. Oh, yeah, here it is. Hey, why don't you go telegraph Here it is. Mark talking like he even knows what it's like to share a bed with a woman? He probably should stick to talking about wrestling because he doesn't know shit about either. But at least he can pretend he does. Oh, and eating Hot Pockets his mom makes him. That's funny, Braun Strowman. His mom is too busy running from his dad. No. Hey, why don't you go telegraph another Money in the Bank cash in, you psycho gun nut goat gobbler?
Oh my God!
Oh, that's cute. Braun Strowman is playing Soldier for Memorial Day. That's nice. Oh wait, he does this almost every week. Just join the army, loser. Well, why didn't you go ask another child to be your tag team partner, you sick pedo fuck? Oh, my God, bro. Fucking, what did he say? What else? Oh, yeah, that's right, because Braun Strowman's, like, in love with Alexa Bliss or something. Like, that's why. He's white knighting.
That he's so fucking pissed off that not only was she dating somebody else when he was her tag team partner, but then she was single, and he was probably like, oh shit, I just found it. And then as soon as he was about to hit her up, he saw married.
He's probably that's why he's like, I got a white knight for Alexa, like really badly, like just to show, like how much I love her and I want to bang her. Let me go to the donations if there are any donations. You guys can donate by using the link up top. There's a lot.
There should be a lot at this point.
All right, let's see if there's a lot of donations. I haven't received the Cash App yet. It got canceled. I see it. It says you received the Cash App from Will. It's been canceled though, so I don't know what happened, but I see it. Let's see if it comes up.
It's my birthday.
Chief Wahoo.
So you became a member.
Chief Wahoo has become a member. Thank you, Chief Wahoo. Again, he's been a member for a while. What is this month? There's like 15 months in a row. Chief Wahoo, thank you.
Braun Strowman may want to shit on, like, say, oh, he has no idea what having a woman in his bed is like. JD, you know what? For all his flaws, he did get pussy somehow.
Sort of.
And
yeah.
so much.
You raised a piece of shit.
Just had to lie to three of them.
Screw it. Canceled the Cash App. Put this in your pipe and scam it.
Oh!
Monetize this got me through a stupid long travel night the other day.
Thank
Appreciate ya.
Oh, Will, thank you. There it is, 21. Will, screw it. Why did the Cash App not work? I don't know what happened. It just says on my screen that it was canceled twice, so I don't know what happened. But, Will, thank you so much, bro, for sending $21. I really appreciate it. And he sent it PayPal. Look at that. Thank you, Will. I'm sorry that didn't work for you, man. I don't know what's up with Cash App. I never use it, really. I have it, and so I thought maybe it would work for you. But, you know, I don't know. My Cash App sucks. But I really, really appreciate you trying to, get that money to me over there. And that's really it, man. That was it, Mustafa. Those were all the donations.
Wow.
Hey, you know what's funny?
That's it.
The Ghost goes, Mustafa lying again. There's a lot. Dumbass.
Oh my God.
What did I lie about? No. Let's talk about that. What did I lie about?
You read that
bro?
perfectly. It's the way you read that.
How did I lie, bro? Let's go. Talk to me. Ask me a question.
Are you JD right now?
No, he sounds like
No, I'm serious.
Oh,
I want to know.
He wants to know.
If you're challenging me about something, let's go. What did I lie about?
Well, actually, you said that, Luke. You're the one that called him a liar, not.
I'm reading off the Ghost from the Coast saying Rostafa.
No, I'm asking Ghost from the Coast because I've already read it. What am I lying about, bro?
Okay.
Talk to me.
Well, you
I'm
lied
sure
about
he'll
there
answer.
being a lot of donations without actually knowing. So that is technically either that's a lie or that's a misinformed.
I said there should be a lot of donations. I said there should be a lot.
No. You didn't say that at first.
I said that after I said there's a lot of donations, and I says there should be a lot after I said that. And so, dude, at the end of the day, if you're not donating the joke, by the way, Ghost from the Coast, maybe you should check yourself, with your broke ass.
Oh my God.
Anyway, how about that?
Anyway, Mustafa's great. It's the way that you read that, Luke. The way you read his text killed me.
Zakaria Khan in the chat's like Mustafa's losing it like Tony Khan. Maybe I am actually. Maybe Tony and I got a little something in common about this.
You did just pull a Tony Khan out, but I mean, I get it because you're getting called out on shit, and you're gonna, hey, what the fuck? I get it. I'd be pissed too.
Yes. Rostafa would be the most.
Hey, you seen any Jews coming from the fucking sewers out there, Rostafa?
No. Compared to me, Joe, I've seen you get pissed. What I'm doing is really child's play. What you say when you get pissed, yeah, I kind of turn down the volume because I literally feel like that my eardrums are gonna pop because I have to turn down the volume on the damn iPhone. But yeah.
That's so lame. I gotta turn down the volume because ears hurt sometimes. So yelling, old man
on the damn iPhone. Yeah.
56, bro. Like,
yeah,
I gotta get the 4.
That was kind of weird, but I love you.
No, I love you. But it was hilarious. It was hilarious that you got questioned. You were yelling at me like,
I got questioned and I'm still calling him out, and he still hasn't asked me a question. He's a dumbass. So there you go.
Really quickly, we did also get another donation via Stream Elements, and so let me just get that out of the way, and it comes from T-Rev. Play that clip. T-Rev, what's up, Joe? Hope all is well, buddy. Well, we'll see in the next in the next hour or so, T-Rev, unless, if all is well, after the storm tonight that's about to happen, and if there's any more donations. T-Rev, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. Your voice gets high-pitched, Rostaffa? That's what the ghost said. Your voice gets high-pitched?
I have a... What is he talking about? He's a dumbass. What are you talking about,
What
dude?
are you talking about,
You're
you
an
dumbass? You stupid dumbass.
You are an idiot, sir.
You're the idiot. I'm sorry.
Okay, you have a high-pitched voice. Look what are you talking about, Joe? I got a high-pitched. Look at you.
I do. My voice goes from low to high. It's all over the place. What about it?
You're trying to say that I have a high-pitched voice by
I didn't say that.
Like,
I didn't say that.
You're not implying.
What? Where?
So you're basically repeating what I just said before, but you're doing it in a high-pitched voice. So are you implying that I have a high-pitched voice?
It wasn't the high-pitched voice that really mattered. It was the Valley Girl.
Okay.
It was the Valley Girl thing.
Okay. I'm not a Valley Girl, you dipshit.
Well, but the way you were talking, it was just very, like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
it was Valley
stop.
Girl. I'm
No,
swear to
stop.
God, rewind
Stop.
the tape and listen to yourself. It was very Valley. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
I'm not a dude. Stop.
I know you're not. You're not.
I'm
but
straighter than a $10 bill. Stop.
I know. I agree. I don't think you're not. I think you are straight, and I think I think when you find romance, you go into the restaurant and you wine and dine, and you take her home
with queens.
Yeah,
Wine
exactly.
and dine with queens.
Exactly. And then I'm sure she has a good time, and that's so. I'm not saying you sound like a Valley Girl. I'm just saying your words were there a little bit.
Sakiria Khan, who's like sounds like Hulk Hogan on helium. Yeah, I probably sound like that. That's probably close.
I mean, I
let me tell you something, brother.
That is the sound of like a flamboyant, theater kid who's, a closeted homosexual would sound like if he got in a fight.
Right. Now, so let's go back to this Tony Khan meltdown. What was the last tweet? Did he stop tweeting finally? Is this over?
He stopped tweeting a while ago. Eric Bischoff was just going off while everybody else was like kind of surrounding him in his tweets.
Why now? Eric Bischoff seems to have a beef with Tony Khan, and it's ever since he got invited there, and then he left, and all of a sudden it was like 2 weeks, not even later. It was like right after he was invited there that he started just going in on AEW. But before that, he was acting like AEW was great, and then all of a sudden,
so basically, Eric Bischoff was there twice. He made 2 appearances. One was when it was during the actually both of them I think were during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And right after that, I think Tony might have said something based upon what Eric had said, which was constructive criticism. Eric made a constructive criticism about the product. Tony took offense to it.
I also felt, but
reason,
I felt EB there. Eric kind of started going at them a little bit on purpose, though, almost like.
Well, everybody was, but that's for every wrestling company because they want to see a better product, and it's not that they're attacking them. It's constructive criticism. And Tony, for whatever reason, can't take constructive criticism. Dude, he couldn't even denounce the false claims if there are against Jericho, and he's like, I can't talk about it of something that's not true. Well, it's your job to find out whether it is true or not and say, we're debunking all of that because it's not true, and Jericho can speak for himself.
Tony doesn't know how to do anything as far as this goes. Tony, literally just copy Vince. Like, Tony, listen to me. If you're listening to this show, you're not listening. I'm sure you're not. You should have hired me 2 years ago. But Tony Khan, even though you should have hired me 2 years ago, Tony Khan, listen to me. Just do Vince McMahon. That's all you got to do. Be Vince McMahon.
Just do Vince McMahon.
Do you know what Vince would have done in a press conference if somebody asked that? Just think about it. Vince would have said that we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about internet rumors. If something like that were true, like it would be a whole situation. It would be a thing. There's absolutely no validity to that crap. Like, and we're not going to talk about it.
He would actually answer the question.
Yeah, he'd be
there
like,
you go.
And he would start, eventually, he might get pissed. He'd start pointing at them. Like, listen, you ask another stupid
remember when he
question.
got hackled by the press when Owen Hart passed away? He did an immediate press conference,
Mhm.
and even though that there were some of the questions that were uncomfortable, he did it to the best of his ability until one asshole reporter was like, do you feel like that you're responsible for because this was under your watch, blah blah blah, and Vince like goes, I don't like your tone. And you're accusing me because apparently you're an expert about what we do, and more importantly about the stunt that Owen was doing. And we're telling you that this was a tragic accident, and it was an accident.
But again,
but it didn't have to
here's
be
the thing:
necessary.
Vince sidestepped stuff too, and he got and like he really did. Like we can't pretend that Vince is perfect. Like Vince,
right.
Remember the interview where he knocked the fucking papers out of the guy's hands? Like, and he, like,
who was that guy again? Remind me his
Bob
name?
Costas, that guy.
Bob Costas, right? Yeah.
He started doing the fake crying. Like, there's people they can't walk past the age of 50, and he's like, boo, boo, but like he starts doing a mimic crying.
He pitched them out pretty good. Yeah.
Like, dude, but see, that's a guy that owns shit. Like Tony Khan, like I'm not saying Vince is Vince is like the full-on alpha male, toxic male like guy, but Tony Khan is like the opposite of that. Like he's
a prep boy. He's a schoolboy.
I'm trying to think of it. Like sometimes the toxic alpha male does get you in some trouble because they're so like, fuck it. Like, who cares about anybody's health and everything? We're going in and we're doing this shit, and some people are going to get hurt along the way. Fuck it. Well, that's a little bit dangerous, right? Because that's an alpha toxic male. But, like, in the end, you'd rather be behind that guy than behind somebody who's like, like, what do they say? Weak times make, strong times make weak men, whatever the fuck. Like, that's what this is. You got Donald Trump or Biden. Like, that's what we got going on here. I just think that Tony Khan can't get out of his own way and all these different things. It's like he needs to be a strong leader who, like, takes charge. And then he needs to know what he wants to say and not say, like, in these situations, and what he wants to do. Like, and he's got to be hardcore. But I think, I almost think, like, does he think this makes him tough by going on Twitter and being like, ooh, Jinder Mahal? Like, no, you sound like, I get it because I bitch about stuff, but it's like, you sound like a bitch to other people. I mean, I get what he's saying because if we were tweeting that stuff, it would be okay, right? Like marks on the internet or wrestling marks on the internet or whatever, or news people want to be like, hey, Jinder 21-8 and this, so he hasn't won all year. Like, that is something to be debated, and Tony Khan makes a good point in the tweet, but like it just doesn't seem right coming from the owner of AEW. It seems very lame, and it's like, how many lame things can you do? Can't control Punk, lose Punk, can't keep Cody Rhodes, what's the other thing? Fucking can't, scared for your own life. You're scared for your own
quote,
life.
I swear to God, every time when I hear it, I'm looking at Tony going, you have no thick skin, and the fact that you're saying that you were scared for your life when you know you have security there willing to protect you, God forbid, if something were to happen or lack thereof, that's your fault.
But not only is he scared for his own life and says that ridiculous thing that's going to haunt him for like ever, right? But like on top of saying I'm fearing for my life at my own show, he also then undoes it all by at the press conference saying we have the safest place to work ever, like in all of wrestling.
Exactly.
Oh, what? The safe place where like women are accusing Jericho and a dog got its teeth bashed in and CM Punk left, said it was a bunch of baby children idiots, and then you yourself said you feared for your own life. You fucking idiot.
And then not only that, the most embarrassing thing of them all, trying to hug, I believe, Nyla
every wrestler.
No, trying to hug Nyla Rose it looked like visibly disgusted. Like, what are you doing?
Dude, he hugs Cesaro, hugging Punk, hugging Jericho.
The hugging is so weird. The way he hugs, it's like, bro, everything is fucked in this company. Like, I don't even know. Oh, shit!
Monetize that. I'm kinda fat.
That's a lot of money for a day.
Oh, it's a bomb coming in! It's a bomb coming in from Ristaffa's Lies!
$150. Buy me a
Mustafa's lies.
Buy me a mask. I can ask. Buy me a
You know
mask.
you're over when people want to troll you.
Buy me a mask. Monetize that. Buy me a mask. 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 Some pyroclastic flow. Don't like blacks. Pyroclastic flow. I don't like blacks. Ask me that. Ask me this. Monetize that. Monetize that. Can I get a mask from Tommy and see? I'm fat. Can I get a mask? Can I get a mask? Can I get a mask? I want a mask. Can I ask? Can I get a mask?
Lol, there's a lot, huh?
Oh, there's a big one. Ladies and
Little
gentlemen.
is a lot is a little, a lot is a lot.
That's got to be the ghost of Mustafa's lies who dropped that, I'm assuming.
The ghost of Mustafa's lies.
Mustafa's lies, $150.
I bet that was the ghost from the coast. Probably was.
Oh my God.
Hey, you're paying for Joe's bills. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Unbelievable. He has a lot of. Well, we're gonna start listing the lies on a website called Mustafa'sLies.com. We'll be able.
Well, you got to buy
next week.
Tommy a mask first.
Well, listen. I think God has already bought him that. If you look at his chin, it's practically covering his whole face now, and he don't look the same. So he got a self-made mask. It's made out of donuts.
Wayne Gacy. He looks like John Wayne Gacy as a clown, and without the makeup. And Joe, that song that debuted on a Corrupted, right? Like I cannot for the life of me find, because you had like that song went even longer.
No.
Oh no! I thought it was Monetize This.
It was on I believe it was on a Monetize This, but it was on a Corrupted that we like replayed it. So that clip of it.
Yeah, I know that's from the Monetize This, but I remember you saying that there was a longer version of it on Corrupted, and when I tried to listen to it, I could not for the life of me find that Corrupted.
No, so
I don't know if
so there's a yeah, you might be right. I don't remember now, but yeah, somewhere there's an original version of it too, because that was the version of us. That I believe is the version of us listening to it on Corrupted, and we recorded that. But somewhere on Monetize This.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because I remember. When Tommy was on there, he first heard it. He was like, "F you, Joe! Screw this! Take it off!"
And Leah loved it, so we played it for her again on Corrupted, and that's where we got that clip from. That's the actual donation, is from the listening party on Corrupted, because I'm singing over it weirdly.
I think the donation might actually be from the listening to it on Monetize This, because that was the hurricane episode, right? There's like a big hurricane, or I remember.
Maybe,
I think you were listening to audio from Corrupted on Monetize This, showing it to JB and Leah, and then everybody laughed about it. Either way,
honestly,
I want to find the full version of that song.
It could be three things then. It literally could have come from somewhere, then been listened to on Corrupted, then been re-listened to again on Monetize. It could be. I don't know. But you're right. In fact, even back then, I couldn't figure out where the original went. I forgot. And I was supposed to go back and grab the original version. Oh, God, I don't know where it is now. Where is it? And that was legit like a month after it happened. So
got it.
Now here we are 5 years later, and who the fuck knows anything.
6 years later.
Right, exactly.
So, Joe.
Mustafa's Lies. Thank you for the $150.
Super chat.
Oh, here comes a super chat from YC.
What's going on with New York Jewish tunnels? We are watching kids trafficking unfold on daylight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but they're coming out of the tunnels in New York like the ninja fucking turtles. Which, by the way, Alex Jones is right again, I guess. So I remember, like, if you take any of the current day's situations and you put Alex Jones's voice over it, you can understand why people don't believe anything, right? Like, just take it what happened yesterday, where all the Jewish people were coming out of the ground and they were knocking the walls down in the tunnels throughout New York, or whatever they were doing, and you just imagine Alex Jones being like, "And what's going on right now is there's some kind of subgroup going on. Tunnels are being dug throughout New York where Jewish rabbis are sneaking into tunnels and they're holding people, and there's like beds set up and there's fecal matter on the beds and piss, and they're living in little cells and traveling through tunnels through New York, and like Jewish people are just coming up from the ground, and people are like, where are they coming from? What's going on?" And so eyewitnesses talking about this, and the police aren't saying anything. Like, you'd be like, what? And then, but there it is. So it's like, just if you just do that voice with any real news, it just makes everything sound like it's crazy. It's funny.
So Joe,
he was on Twitter talking about how Jinder Mahal sucks as a fucking piece of shit champion, and basically exposed everybody's address. I mean, literally, I mean that's exactly how ridiculous this whole situation is with Tony Khan. It really does something that Alex Jones would be ranting on, or some like it doesn't seem real. That like the fact that we're literally talking about a guy who owns a company. Yeah, tweeting like a 5-year-old. I mean, not even a 5-year-old. Like honestly, that really makes him seem super childish. You're right. It's just like a typical Mark opinion, but you would kind of think that he would be above that, or he would like I said, you would think a guy who's a leader of a company, who's a billionaire, has so many things to do. You think that he wouldn't have enough time to get so angered over people on Twitter annoying him and getting angry at him. Why are you taking the time out of what is supposed to be a busy day to reply to a bunch of people that you know are just going to use that anger that you have as fuel to make you more angry by calling you unprofessional?
And not only that, but you're giving more attention to your competition now. And then you even have your own wrestlers, Ricky Starks and Dustin Rhodes, saying, guys, stop. Please stop this crap. But dude, it was already done. It had already been casted out. Tony already made his bed. He's lying in it. And this is now going to be talked about for the next 2 days. But Joe, I wanted to bring this up. Do we see an increase in viewership? Maybe not a whole lot, but maybe on Raw next week, and maybe even as far as people wanting to buy tickets just to watch Jinder versus Seth for the world title now?
No,
because this is free publicity.
I don't think you'll see a big increase, but I think WWE right now, they have this like slight momentum, but is it really reflecting in the ratings yet? I don't know. I didn't look at last Monday's ratings. Did those come out?
I think it was, yeah. I think it was like barely a 1.5.
Okay, so they're really the same. So WWE is weird because they feel like they're doing better. And here's, in a way they are. Here's the reason why WWE is slightly doing better in a way. Because what you're going to say is, over the past 5 years, we've seen the ratings drop, right? We've seen the ratings over the past 5 years drop from 2.5 million down to, what it is now, 1.5 million. However, the decline was very rapid and had a steady, rapid pace going on. Like they were going, and I could predict it. It was so rapid.
You did predict it.
We could predict it. I predicted it like every month. I was like, okay, in the next couple months, they'll be down to 1.8. And then the next couple months after that, will be down to 1.6 at WrestleMania. So we'll go up for a second, then we'll go back down to this. And I was just predicting it left and right because it was so predictable because the math all added up, made sense. However, what we haven't talked about in a while is that the WWE in the past 5 years, when it slipped, the trajectory we should be on is that right now the WWE rating should be at 1.2 million, but it's not. It's at 1.4, 1.5, like you just said. So WWE has stayed for about a year or over a year almost at about a 1.456, right? So that's over the past year. So although that's not really good, and they haven't gone up, they haven't started going upwards, what they have done is they've stopped slipping for the most part, which is
from a creative standpoint.
Right, so that's very interesting because from at the pace we were on, right now they should be at 1.2 million viewers, 1.3 million every Raw, and they're not. They're still up around 1.5, 1.4, which is where they were. So again, not good, but they've held that. And so what's going to happen next? Are they going to take a step back, or are they going to start to grab some momentum and start building up? Now, again, they made a huge mistake when they first brought Punk in. They didn't do some crazy shit right away when they had eyes on the product. That was a mistake. Again, they've done it before. They think they're doing the right thing because they're doing a slow burn thing, but they're not thinking about, wow, let's just grab the short-term audience that hasn't been watching in a long time. They didn't think about that, or they didn't care about that. I don't know which one it is, but I know I would have cared about it. I would have said, holy shit, we've got an extra 400,000 people watching us tonight. We are going to damn sure make people go, holy shit, I got to see what happens next week. And they did not do that. Big mistake.
And the only two things that are working for Raw and SmackDown are the Bloodline and the Judgment Day in terms of non-part-timers or people that have just returned to the company. those two entities are basically, at least in my opinion, because SmackDown is doing way more better as far as keeping viewers or increasing viewers, because they're always at about 2. Yeah, go ahead. So basically, SmackDown has been doing better than Raw for a long time. And I mean, at one point, like 20 years ago, and Luke, you remember this, where during the SmackDown 6 era, there was a point where SmackDown was doing way better than Raw in the ratings. And Raw at one point was going to be all hands on deck on Raw from the creative, because Raw was about to go under cancellation. SmackDown was about to go under cancellation, but Raw was still suffering, and all hands were on Raw. And that's why they split the writing teams up. And eventually we got the lottery split. So that way we had competition between both shows. But now the fact that everybody keeps on saying that Raw is the flagship because it's the A show, which doesn't make any sense, because the A show means that, you know, you're drawing the most ratings, you're drawing the most money, not just on live TV, but also in the house shows. SmackDown has always, in as far as in longevity purposes, have done better than Raw. Now Raw is, I mean, the fact that Raw, because obviously the landscape of television has changed. We all know that. Raw in itself has reached the milestone of some of the lowest ratings in its history, and it's been on the decline, as Joe just said. And Joe did predict that various amounts of times, as far as, you know, what the percentages would be, as far as like what we'd be looking at, you know, maybe 5, 10 years from the bracket at which he set up. But Raw has been doing very well ever since Triple H, from a creative standpoint, took over creative, and has had help from various producers, and even Paul Heyman. I mean, Paul Heyman practically made the Bloodline storyline more than what it was, just as much as Triple H or anybody else in the back did. It was been a collective effort. And the fact that Roman has gotten to where he's gotten now, compared to what he was 5-6 years ago, people booed him out of the building because he was forced down our throats. Then he turned himself babyface after the leukemia deal, because it was a real life situation. And followed on that, you have Roman Reigns coming as a heel, wins the title, and reinvigorates his career as a legitimate, threat. Even though he's being cheered now in a certain sense, he's still the heel and getting all those, again, those great booing reactions. And people are having short attention span as far as him having a long title reign, and wanting him to lose, badly at WrestleMania 40 against Cody. As of this point right now, I mean, I look at Raw and I'm saying, from a creative standpoint, it's done better than it did 5 years ago. SmackDown has been doing way better than it was 5 years ago. And we're at a point right now where I think Raw and SmackDown, from a creative standpoint, as I just said, is doing better, even though that ratings are down. Will there be an upside? Probably. I mean, Luke, realistically, because we live in a digital age now where we have Hulu, we have YouTube, we have various different ways you can watch Raw and SmackDown, even though they can be edited in later time, because a lot of times what you see live can sometimes not translate on on the apps, on the applications, as far as again, Peacock, YouTube, and Hulu. In terms of what we can see later, do we see an increase in ratings? Obviously, merchandise is up. Obviously, ticket sales are up. WrestleMania 40 is going to be the biggest sellout WrestleMania in history. Do we see an increase in ratings or various other metrics going forward within, I guess, the next 3 years, if you want to look at least the short term instead of the long term?
I could see it improving in a few years, be back to probably nowhere near where they were at the Ruthless Aggression in terms of TV ratings, but maybe they could start pulling in like a few years, if they keep this pace that they're at, a good solid 2 million. But right now, no matter what they're doing, if it's not The Rock, if it's not a big fucking return, it's not going to draw many eyes on it, because nobody really knows what's going on. They just need to keep building a word of mouth of, oh, WWE's good again. Oh yeah, I kind of fell out of the product. You should start watching, because for the past few years, Triple H took over and it's actually better. That's how that word of mouth goes through. Because right now, it's still in a we're not still in the early period, honeymoon period of Triple H anymore, because I think, it's been since August of 2022. We're just more of now in that establishing era of okay, the old era is kind of being ushered out. And I was talking with Rostafa about this. The old era, I feel like, is being ushered out, and WrestleMania 40 very much feels like it's not a season finale, like a series finale, in a sense of this is finalizing everything of basically this past era. And I think after WrestleMania 40, you're going to see a lot of changes. Hopefully, this is just me being hopeful. A lot of changes with with the way the show's brands look. And I'm that's just me being hopeful. But I think because Triple H now, unlike last year this time around, actually does have full creative control, and Vince is pretty much in no position of power, I think you're going to see a very different WWE going forward this year. And then you're also going to see an increase in ratings when that follows,
Yeah, and speaking of which, you also have guys like Michael Hayes, Paul Heyman,
and Kevin Dunn's leaving too, so that's a big
and also Bruce Pritchard is still there. And again, funny enough, Bruce Pritchard is one of the last relics, with the exception of maybe Michael P.S. Hayes, as far as being one of the last relics of the Vince McMahon era, right? And if after they leave or when they're gone, I'm pretty sure P.S. Hayes is still going to stick around, but when Bruce is gone, that's it, because Kevin Dunn is gone, Vince is gone, Stephanie is gone. Shane hasn't really been seen. I mean, he made an appearance last year at WrestleMania, but that got botched real quick. But as far as from a behind the scenes role, I don't really hear that much about Shane. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's still attached to the company in some way, shape, or form. But again, it's a whole new day, and even at day one, there was a bit of a change of the guard, because just the way they opened day one, right? Michael Cole and Wade Barrett in the ring. That hasn't happened in a very long time. I'm pretty sure we may get that, maybe every pay-per-view, maybe a specific, Raw or SmackDown will most likely get that as a special little intro. And what I would honestly love to see come back, and I know this is an aesthetic, but there was a reason I felt that why Michael Cole and Wade Barrett were in the ring with live microphones is to get the crowd up. And they were already in a pretty hot crowd with day one in general. But have the pyro come back to really start off the show. Now, I understand why they took it away, because they wanted to save money and budget, and they wanted to put it more towards their bigger events. But I'm but when you hear that pyro, Luke, Raw, SmackDown, or any of those shows, it starts you off right. It gets your energy. I mean, especially if you're there live, there's nothing like it to give you that little jolt saying, we're here. It's Monday Night Raw. It's Friday Night SmackDown. It gives a reason for the crowd to cheer, especially if you're in a hot city like New York or Jersey or Philadelphia or Detroit, one of those types of Chicago, one of those types of towns that's a mark town, that's a smart town, and love wrestling and are hardcore passionate wrestling fans, other than, let's say you go into, let's say, Des Moines, Iowa, or, sometimes in another territory, in California, where it may not be as strong, but, there are pockets where it works better. But again, by having that strong intro, and also what SmackDown did just this previous week, which was refreshing, which they don't do a lot, is start with an opening match instead of an opening promo segment. Raw's always been known for doing the promos more so than the matches, or been known for the promos and matches. SmackDown was the worker show. That's why, people like Jericho and Edge didn't want to leave SmackDown when they were traded to Raw. They wanted to stay on SmackDown because they wanted to work. They didn't want to care about necessarily the backstage, shenanigans and storylines and stuff like that, even though it was a part of what was happening, in the ring. I think we need to get back to more.
Monetize.
What the hell?
I'm kinda fat.
What the hell?
You can monetize that. I'm kinda
Oh my God, D. Welsh now! D. Welsh sending a bomb!
I'm kinda fat. Monetize that. Buy me a mask.
Oh my God.
Buy me a mask. Do you have $150? Buy me a mask. Would you please buy me a mask? Buy me a mask. I can ask. Buy me a mask from Tommy NC, and I'm gonna buy monetize that. Buy me a mask. buy me a mask.
Holy shit, D. Welsh!
Buy me a mask of pyroclastic flow. I don't like blacks. Pyroclastic flow. I don't like blacks. Ask me that, ask me this, monetize that, monetize that. Can I get a mask from Tommy and see? I'm fat, I'm fat. Can I get a mask? Can I get a mask? Can I get a mask? I want a mask. Can I ask? Can I get a mask?
Let's keep this fucking party going. Rastafari lies like a fucking bitch.
Oh my God, Rastafari lies like a fucking bitch.
Yo, D. Welsh, come up in the chat, dog. Come up in the chat. Let's see who's a bitch.
Oh my God.
Let's see who's a bitch. Come up in the chat.
Rostafa, so a lot of people have been in the chat saying some stuff. Now I don't know who this guy is. I don't agree with him. I think it's bullshit what he said.
You know what it is. You know it's D. Welsh. Stop, Luke.
But he said Rostafa likes to rape women.
Oh my God, no.
I mean, this is a horrible thing to say. And then he also commented Rostafa was one of the Jews walking up out of the sewers. And then he also commented Rostafa was on Epstein Island. I mean, that's
oh no.
And then the final one, this one is the worst. Rostafa and Dork Knight should perform a suicide pact with with animal carcasses. I don't know what that means.
No. What the hell does that even mean, dude? What are you talking about?
No, these are all the things that I'm reading. They're not coming from my mind.
Well, that is sick. I will say that. But thank you, D. Welsh, for dropping $150 double bombs. Rostafa's lies and D. Welsh. Thank you.
Dude, E-Man, that is... Dude, okay, E-Man and Ghost, you guys are fucked up.
That is messed up.
Rostafa butt fucks dogs. I mean, that's insane. Don't say that. I mean, he doesn't do that. He doesn't butt fuck dogs. That's terrible.
No. That's butt fuck dumb. That's what he does.
Oh man, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Yeah.
What a great.
Oh my God, Ghost from the Coast. Rostafa cosplays as a Klansman.
Do I look like Dave Chappelle?
Oh my God. Did you see the Dave Chappelle stand-up yet, too, by the way?
No. I did.
They caught that? It's pretty good, right?
I did.
This one was good.
Yeah.
This one was good. Hey, man.
It wasn't like the last one. I mean, I liked the last one a little bit better, but this one was okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was good. I think it was... I think it's like his... What is he? He's done like 6 since he's really come back, I feel like. And I feel like this was the top 3. This was like number 3. Like the other 3 were... I don't know, like right in the middle, I guess. I don't know. I got to remember. I probably should... I might go watch them all again because I forget a lot of them. But I remember that last one was murderous. Like from 2 years ago now, almost?
Yes. That was the one I was referring to. Yeah, I love that one.
That was murderous. Like that was right up there. It wasn't... Of course, I don't think anything's ever going to beat Killing Them Softly. That was unreal, that stand-up. That's like a legendary...
I loved when he went when he was talking about the Jesse Smollett story, and he was like,
"Oh, right.
Okay, you were walking up 1:30 in the morning, freezing cold, Chicago," and they're like, "Where were you going?" "Subway." "Sandwiches?" Like it was so baffled, like sandwiches.
Sandwiches, my friend. I wanted to get a hoagie.
And these white cowboys who were
That's
like...
not what he said. Okay.
It was so weird.
I love Rostafa's little add-ons. Sandwiches, my friends. I wanted a hoagie. Like what? That's not what Dave said at all in the fucking stand-up.
No. You know how when Dave
he's
like
calling a Matt Riddle.
Yeah. No, he literally does like sort of kind of like this upscale sort of kind of like posh like white guy sort of kind of impression, which is hilarious because Eddie Murphy would kind of do that in his characters, like in movies back in the day.
Like he starts talking like Don Lemon.
Right.
Whenever Don Lemon talks, it makes me think of that. We just got a tweet. Let me read this tweet. Very interesting. Let's just see. Everyone's reacting to this stuff. Obviously, by the way, thank you, D. Welsh. D. Welsh, you are going to make me go out in the storm tonight and electrocute myself live on my own show tonight, D. Welsh. $150 tying the lies of Rostafa. Let's read this real quick. From Sarat Mahanti. Shame on the secondary wrestling promotion owner Tony Khan to get into a series of rants over literally nothing. Learn to take it like a man rather than crying 24/7. Here and not able to survive a bare minimum second without you and your talents mentioning WWE. Consistent, matured. Double standard. Hook. Now, how did he respond to this? Why did this double standard thing come up? Because of what USA wrote?
Yeah, so he wrote the first tweet, and then this was the second tweet that he put out. The fact that he even brought Hook into this, again, like I said, this is some, I feel bad for Hook. The fact that he's getting
free promotion.
No, I know, but dude, he's Taz's kid. He's just getting into the business over the past couple years. He's been getting over. He's not, again, he's not a legitimate champion other than just holding the FTW title, which at this point is just a prop.
It's kind of messed up, though. Like you said, messed up that other wrestlers in the big WWE company are like, who is he? And
this is the boss doing this. He's literally burying his own talent.
Well, what do you think about what do you think about Road Dogg the other day? When he said that he was a bigger entertainer than MJF or whatever. Is that where this?
I think it's hilarious. I think that's freaking hilarious. It's stupid that he would actually even say that.
It pissed off the marks just like he wanted it to.
But what do you mean? Why is I'm assuming he's sort of he's got to believe that he's not messing with people, right? Why would Road Dogg?
He's not trolling either, but still though, it's he's taking jabs at...
let's think about it. Is he wrong?
No, he's not wrong, and that's what pisses off these fucking guys who can't accept, they think just because right now everybody's talking about how great MJF is, that means that Road Dogg, since he's not like that anymore, is irrelevant compared to him. Road Dogg in the 90s got way more reactions and had probably way more fans than anybody on AEW television right now. And
even when he was a heel, he got a lot of reactions. Yeah.
People also hold these. Another reason why I get angry at the whole 5-star system thing is that people really hold these ratings as if they have any merit to them outside of these communities that 200,000 people maybe follow.
It's the
same. People start being people will be in the comments or replying to I think Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels is the greatest match, and people will be well, you've never watched Klazanske versus Nakotsko or something like that? They're using some
wow. So subtle.
And they think that people know what they're talking about, and I swear people really say stuff this tag team match that FTR had with the Young Bucks, possibly the greatest tag team match in American television history. They give all these big fucking clickbait words basically, so they can basically suck off AEW. They just want to seem different. They just want to seem my favorite match is definitely not Stone Cold versus Bret Hart. That would make me a stupid loser. My favorite match is Taitsu Nato and Ibushi. Nobody fucking cares. Oh, what, the 47 fucking German reverse counters that they do in every match, that for some reason all these matches that keep getting called greatest match, fucking 6-star matches.
Oh, you didn't see the match between Isushi Abu last night and Tanaito Sakairis?
This guy really can we really Road Dogg really thinks he's better than Kataklo Kling Clay? Are you serious right now?
For every Japanese person that's listening to this right now, I apologize.
Tell me one match that Road Dogg's had that compares anything to what Ospreay and Nuzalo had, because I don't think you can. And then you watch these matches and you're like, it was good. That's pretty good.
Dude, let me tell you something. When he hit him with the full Nelson Avalanche and the Kayatsuki breaker, Like that was the
It's a
best
Kayase
combination
breaker.
I've ever
Dude, when
seen.
he hit him with the Kakashi death point, and then the guy no-sold it in 2 seconds and got back up, and then hit him with 3 more, and then kicked out at 2, and then they had 15 to 20 more minutes of action in the match after what felt like 3 or 4 climaxes. Man, greatest match ever.
Yeah, and look,
Every match that these fucking smarks seem to suck off and jerk off because Meltzer tells them to, or because Meltzer rates them highly, and it's what these circle jerk fucking smart fans put at the top 10s of all their lists for the end of the year. But they all fucking do. They'll ignore Cody versus Roman, say that match sucked because of the ending, but then they'll fucking suck off these 15 fucking stinkers that nobody gives a shit about because they're all the same, they're all tired, nobody sells, and then we all have to pretend that they're fucking brilliant matches, and if you don't say that, then you look like an idiot. Oh, well, Road Dogg's a fucking piece of shit. What does Road Dogg ever know? He just books fucking wrestling and also was in DX, one of the greatest fucking factions ever, and used to fucking be on television in front of millions. What does Road Dogg know? He never fucking had a match with Cuckoo Kakaka. You fucking idiot.
Luke.
I hate coming.
Holy God, Luke. Give me a second.
Oh my
Hold
God,
on.
man.
Yo, Luke, first of all, and again, I'm not disagreeing with what you just said. I'm just saying. I am just saying this. The fact of the matter is that I am not a fan of the star rating system. As a matter of fact, Edge literally came on an interview recently and just said, what is the point of this 5-star system? It means nothing. It adds no value. And to the point where it's like, okay, if you're telling a story, that's the whole point of what we do. If you're just going gaga over spots of being no-sold and this and that, you're not only not telling a story, you're basically falling in love with the spots and not with the characters that are making the story what it is. So essentially, I understand what Road Dogg is trying to say from that point of view in terms of, him as far as being a star or being more world renowned because of the time period that he was in, the money that he made, the fact that he wasn't even a main eventer and probably got paid more than MJF, maybe even currently does now, within the past couple of years. But in respect to who MJF is now in comparison of a character, in terms of getting heat, in terms of doing this and that, MJF has a legitimate gripe in that respect. And matter of fact, if I could put MJF even in the Attitude Era doing the same gimmick going up against Road Dogg, MJF would, and again, I'm not trying to compare him to The Rock or Austin or anything like that, but he would at least get that type of wordplay and job Road Dogg, constantly, and again, put him down, just like The Rock put him down, just like Austin put him down, or like anybody else put him down. From that perspective, but in terms of star power, yeah, probably Road Dogg would probably have the advantage to that. But in terms of promo and probably as far as work rate goes, MJF would probably be favored in that.
I mean,
listen. If Road Dogg was internet little darling's favorite, like fucking Bret Hart, then he could say whatever the fuck he wants and nobody would fucking bat an eye. But when Bret Hart says shit about wrestling and he says how modern wrestling isn't for him, nobody says anything to him. But when Road Dogg says something about it, they attack Road Dogg.
Let me ask you though, why? And listen, I love hate Road Dogg, right? I really do. I love Road Dogg. Obviously, the other day he was funny with me, and he's been cool, and I've been harassing him forever. And he's been good to me, and then he's been really good to me. But, what caused him? Because I don't know where this comes from. Why did he say this?
Joe, before you say anything, Zakari in the chat goes, Cuckoo Kaka is Dork Knight's first wife's name. She was a child prostitute from Taiwan.
Oh my God.
Okay, go back to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Why did Dork Knight's probably dead. That's why he's not here.
Oh no.
No, I don't know why did Road Dogg randomly say this? Was someone attacking Road Dogg? What was the reason that started this with Road Dogg? Or did he just
there
say
must have been
this?
a comment online that he read. Must have been something that he read online.
Yeah, and I should know this because I played those clips of him the other day talking about me and everything, but I was talking to him about that. I made a joke in his chat about it. I just said this. I go, real simple. Road Dogg, 7 million viewers. You know what I mean? MJF, 800,000. So you could say whatever you want about that. Road Dogg was a 7 out of 10 He's a top tier entertainer, but on the card back in the day, he was like, the what would you call Road Dogg? Like the B guy, the C guy, probably a C plus. I don't know. Like he was a top guy.
No, he was a B guy. He was a B guy.
But he was a top
He was
guy.
a B guy. He was a B guy, and when being a B guy meant more than being the A guy in AEW.
Right. So that's my point. It's like
still
does.
does.
Road Dogg being Road Dogg was a guy who was capable of coming out on a television every week to have some time on TV in front of 5 to 7 million people. I think it was 7 million people or more a week. So it's like that's pretty fire. You know what I mean? So MJF, though, is a guy who's the top 3 guy in a company that gets about
That's only drawing barely 1 million, right?
Yeah, so like I don't think they're like when you 15 years from now at this point, like who do you think will be remembered? It's like, yeah, it's probably Road Dogg, but it's one of those things where I don't know yet what's going to happen with MJF going forward. So I just don't get. I don't get it. Like I don't get where's this argument coming from?
I think it was him responding to probably somebody in his chat when he was doing a live stream. Either case, I just don't like when people now, because Road Dogg made a comment, that now we got to discredit Road Dogg's career and make it seem like he was just this piece of shit loser, jobber, fucking idiot who had
crazy.
nothing to do with anything. Which is what fans did when he said something about Bret Hart a few months ago. They were like, "Oh yeah, fucking what did Road Dogg ever do that's fucking worth anything?" Like you said, Joe, on television to 5 to 6 million, sometimes 7 million people.
Yeah, Road Dogg. Listen, Road Dogg had I would call it, and I know he was in the WWE longer than this, and he had several memorable things that we all remember. But like, forget the roadie stuff and the stuff with Double J and that sort of thing, because that's before the DX and the Attitude. That's his only thing. But it's a story that people still remember to this day. They remember it very well.
Yeah, like late 97 going into about 2001 when he left.
Yeah, so it was exactly what I was going to say. It's a solid 4 years. The guy was on the top of, on the top of he was a solid mid-card guy in the biggest wrestling company in the world, in one of the most important spots. You know what I mean? It's like that 4 years of that. That's crazy. Like to be there for 4 years. Now MJF has been in AEW for how long now? Has it been
4 years? 4 years, 5 years now?
Yeah, 4 years. So it's like, and the guy's been on top as the champion for about a year, not even. And he's really been the top guy in the company for about a year. So 800,000 people, it's just one of those things. Like MJF isn't drawing people in. Some people would make the argument that Road Dogg didn't necessarily draw people in. It was more like Stone Cold and all that other sort of thing. But either way, Road Dogg was in a company where he had major airtime and the company grew like by the millions.
Especially in 98. Especially 98, yeah.
Guy grew by the millions. Like, so MJF is in a company where, they started out with about 1 million people. Now they have 800,000. He's still there. He's good. I love MJF. MJF is great. And I even considered this argument right when I first heard it. I said, well, Road Dogg was never the top guy in the company, but he was a huge draw. And Road Dogg could go do a signing back in 1999 if the Road Dogg was announced to be doing a signing somewhere.
Lying around the block.
Yeah, it would be unbelievable. And because the numbers. It's just the numbers. That's what it comes down to.
And also there was no social media back then, so you weren't really necessarily able to pass around information the way we do now. And everything had to be done at a location, especially, the only way you could find out information was on WWE.com or whatever website that was hosting like a book signing or this and that, and you'd be able to see the stars. Road Dogg, not necessarily on his own, would get that response, but he would definitely get a decent response if he was with DX and he was bringing DX along. Line's going to be around the block because it's a collective effort more so than just a singular effort. He had success even within DX or kind of post DX, even after 98, 99, that time period. And yet still, that's what he's mainly known for. Yes, he's the part of the New Age Outlaws. Yes, he's I think a 6-time tag champ, with Billy, but he's mainly known for just being a member of DX. Like when you think DX, you're thinking all the guys that were in it. You're not necessarily singling out Road Dogg as a single entity, which I think would probably be the other argument, the fact that MJF is a single entity.
Yeah, I do love MJF, and I think he's in quite a different spot than Road Dogg kind of was in, and I really want to give – I actually feel like I want to give MJF way more credit than what Road Dogg is doing, but at the same time, at this point, obviously I have to say Road Dogg is the better character and entertainer based on his career at this point, but MJF right now is, one of the better things going in all of wrestling. And if we were to make a tier list, if I were to ask you guys like right now, make a top 10 in all of wrestling right now, I'm talking about like promo, character, your interest in seeing them, like where does MJF fall on that list of 10 people right now?
Wow. And we're only talking about single stars, not tags, not, groups.
Well, no, listen. Yeah, whatever. If the Acclaimed is the thing you want to see, call it. I'll put them on there. So whatever.
We're talking about in-ring work, promo work,
whatever.
And people want to see them.
You get to go to a show and you get to book it, and there's 10 people that will appear. Forget the matchups and the matches, but there's 10 people that are going to come down that ramp, cut a quick promo or something, and then have a match. Every one of them. Which 10 people or groups or whatever, what do you want to see right now as it stands?
All right. Well, in terms of the people that can talk, that can work, and have the star power, I mean, yes, MJF is up there, but he's not number one by any means.
Okay.
There's Roman. There's Brock. Randy, women and children still love him. Cody, women and children love him. And these are all guys. You can say that Roman's a part-timer, but he's still contract and he's still on TV a lot, so you still put him in. And Brock,
want to know one? I'm going to give you one on my top 10 list. That's because I'm talking about currently, like right now. What has you excited that you'd want to see it live, or you might want to see it? And I'll give you one that's a little bit interesting. That's a top 10 on my list right now. It's Tony Storm. I have Tony Storm on my top 10 right now.
I was thinking more so the male, but yeah, in the female category, yes, Tony, Britt Baker.
Well,
when she's on TV,
sexist,
she hasn't been on TV for a while.
You're sexist, that's why.
No, I love Britt Baker.
No, I'm kidding.
But
Rhea Ripley.
Tony Storm.
Rhea's on the list.
Tony Storm Tony Storm is, as far as a character goes, and the consistency in developing that character, is the number one women's champion character, wherever you want, as far as AEW goes, or outside of WWE goes. In WWE, Rhea Ripley. When Charlotte was around, when she wasn't injured, people wanted to see her, despite the fact of what we feel about her as far as her title wins and all that other stuff. Becky
and Becky, obviously, although I don't know why they had Becky lose to Nia.
No, I'm talking about who I want to see, though. I'm not a Becky person.
Well, the only reason why I say Becky is just in general, like as far as like somebody who you may not like as a promo specifically, but there are people that do react to her. I don't even want to
see her. I don't mind. I don't get into her. I don't like Becky. I'll be honest. I don't like her.
You know what? I felt that same way when she's in certain storylines. There's certain storylines where she's just stuck in. I'm like, can you get her out of here? Because like she's insufferable in this one.
Like
I honestly thought she was insufferable in the fucking Damage Control fucking storyline. I thought she was really like not very good for a good portion of her like babyface reign when she was champion for like 400 days. But there are times where I'm like, indifferent to her, or I think she's pretty good. I think recently her matches have been very good. She even put on a really good match with Nia Jax. Don't think she should have lost. I thought that was the dumbest decision.
They really want to push Nia. They want to push Nia.
You know what you should do? You should push Nia into oncoming traffic.
Oh, God. Wow.
Are we all going to pretend now? Literally, everybody who was shitting on Nia. Now I see a bunch of people just being like, honestly, Nia's improved. Nia's bad. No, she's not. It's the same shit. I don't fucking care. She's going to injure someone eventually. She's going to do something wrong. She's still slow. She still sucks. Becky Lynch carried her. Her promos are mid. Not even mid. They're bluch. And now fucking Nia is getting a spot over Becky. Like, I've noticed this it's been happening a lot since Triple H took over, that these people who are getting big reactions are the ones that keep getting big L's or taking L's or in shit storylines. But then the ones that people don't really care about or don't like are the ones that are getting pushed as the next challengers. For instance, moving on to the tag division and even in the women's division. No, like I said, nobody gave a fuck about what was her name? Like fucking she had like the fucking dreadlocks. What was her name? Ivy Nile. Fucking Diamond in the Rough, whatever the fuck her name was. She nobody cared about her, but they brought her in to save Maxine, and Maxine was made to look like an idiot, stupid bitch loser. Meanwhile, Maxine got 10 times the reaction and pop than her. Same with Alpha Academy, who constantly get amazing pops all the time and are always brought out there to lose. So, but you know what? We got to build up Ivar. Nobody gives a fuck about Ivar.
Here's the thing,
Nobody
Luke.
gives a fuck about Ivar. He's a good wrestler, but nobody gives a fuck about it. And let me finish, and then I'll let you. They fucking push these guys like Ivar. They push the fucking Creed brothers, and then they take a shit on Chad Gable and Otis and Tozawa, the guys that people actually cheer for and want to go see. No one's buying a ticket to go see Ivar. Fucking so annoying. It's like I'm so annoyed to see like people that we want to actually see pushed, and like you think because well, you know what, Triple H is here, it's gonna fix it all, and instead Triple H constantly tries to go for people that he sees potential in.
Well, you got to remember about Ivar.
He shits on the people who are over.
You got to remember about Ivar. The guy fed Triple H a bunch of talent over the years. The guy is friends with all the people that he's one of the head trainers at the school that trained Triple H. Killer Kowalski's the guy trained me. But it's like, so this Ivar has a connection with Triple H for sure. Like there's a, you know what I mean? They're both at Kowalski's and stuff. So I knew eventually, they were going to give Ivar something, and I'm surprised it took this long. His tag team partner had to get hurt for it to happen. But
and Luke, just to go off of what you just said, the reason why you have Alpha Academy jobbing is because you're trying to build heels to go up against the baby faces, number one. And I necessarily don't agree that they were jobbing in certain matches, but they had to do that in order to insinuate the dominance of the heel. Now,
the Alpha Academy have been over for years and have lost a million matches. But I'm saying the Alpha Academy have been a face team that's been over for years, and they get booked like they're fucking losers. But then these new teams that are brought in from NXT, or these new teams that aren't getting over, are the ones that are getting all the television, all the television time, all the matches, all the victories. While the Alpha Academy, which is an established tag team since 2019. Still get treated like they're fucking complete jobbers. And the only times they get featured in storylines is when, Gunther needs a TV feud for September, so we'll put Chad Gable there. So that's the only thing that they've done of relevance since their RKO feud. RK Bro, whatever.
There's also other tag teams that have been in the same scenario, and one of them actually got a tag run and actually got the tag titles. Again, Too Cool. They had the shortest tag run, as far as to my knowledge, as far as having the belts on them, other than singles wrestlers becoming a tag team and losing them the next night. But other tag teams like Enzo and Cass never got the straps. Crime Time never got the straps because they got in trouble behind the scenes, and that's why their push got delayed and all that stuff. And other scenarios, with other tag teams, and not even in WWE. So there's been that. So it's not new. It's not a new concept. But yeah, no, I agree. Do you feel that these guys should be champions or should be the head of your tag division for a little bit? Of course. But then you got guys like New Day. They job. Yeah, you may not care about them, but you react to them. Same thing with the crowd. They react.
The difference between the New Day is that the New Days had like fucking 12 title reigns. The Alpha Academy, I think, had one.
Zero. Oh, they have one? I thought they had zero.
They had one, and it was a transitional reign.
That's what there you go. Oh yeah, that's right. I think they did have that one. But nonetheless, though, yeah, should they be getting maybe possible title run? I'm like, yeah, but do they need it? That's the thing. Do they need it? Do they need a title to justify? Jake the Snake Roberts never won a title in WWE. Didn't need it. Didn't even win post WWE. Didn't need one.
And he's
Sometimes you don't need a
legendary.
title in order to justify, your growth as
No,
a
you don't need
performer
a
or your
title.
value as
No,
a
Roddy,
you don't need a
just-
title. You don't need a title, but they're treated like like a complete joke. The Alpha Academy is one of the most over babyface tag teams on the roster right now, and for the entire year, Alpha Academy, like I remember a match that they had with the Usos after WrestleMania it was such a fucking entertaining match, and the crowd were so behind Alpha Academy. And you know what they did the next week? Nothing. And you know what they did next week? Oh,
Nothing.
they're doing a backstage thing. They're eating chips.
Nothing.
Oh, they're dipping the chips in dip. No, but you know what? They don't get to do that, even though they're the most over and getting a crowd reaction. The Creed Brothers, everybody, we're bringing him in. You guys are going to love the Creed Brothers.
I
You
did
guys
not
are
agree
going
with
to love
that.
them. You're
I did
going
not
to
agree
love
with them.
them. You're going to fucking love them. Oh shit, he just landed on Damien's head. Oh fuck, he kicked out at 3.1. Fuck. This is like you got these literal fucking guys who have been on the roster for years who are over. Let's not push them. Let's push these new teams that nobody cares about because we want to establish new talent. That's like fine,
Yeah,
establish new talent, but you got to also establish the talent that people have been invested in and are still waiting to get that push. People want Chad Gable to get pushed, and it seems like they literally just like fucking with you now with about the Alpha Academy, about Chad Gable, and it's so fucking annoying.
I'm surprised that
Like,
Chad I'm surprised at this point, right? And this is going back to when he was tag teaming with Jordan, because remember their great matches. Remember the great match they had with the Usos with Jordan when it was Jordan.
Oh no, dude! Even in
Jordan
NXT Texas in 2016 when it was Alpha. I'm sorry, not Alpha.
And the
Academy,
Wyatts too.
Yeah, but they had that match with FTR.
Yes,
at
yes.
Takeover. That was one of my favorite tag matches I ever saw.
But dude, these guys had a match on SmackDown that was awesome. And so for years, it's felt like by this point, it feels like Chad Gable should have already won the belts with Otis and should have already turned heel or something and become a singles top wrestler or something, or like a top mid-card heel or face or something in the mid-card where he's like doing, crazy matches. The guy could have really good singles matches, and you treat him almost like a Bret Hart, Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle type of guy, and that's what he seems like. Where it's like he's kind of hard hitting, technical, but also sells really well, and like you got that, and it's just like he's stuck in this. Me and my goofy friend are trying our best, but we can't do it. Like, why? But so I see what you're saying. This is
like how can you have him stuck like that? How can you have him stuck like that? And we can't blame this on Vince. This lies directly on the booking that Triple H was in charge of. How can you book them like they're complete idiot loser pieces of shits, and especially Chad Gable? When Chad Gable was literally in this big storyline match with Gunther and he came so close. He's the first one to technically beat Gunther on the main roster from a count-out victory, yes, but then he also beat him in the 5-minute challenge, and they were booking it like he had this chance of dethroning Gunther. And what is
I'll ask you, let me
Chad
ask you
Gable
this.
done?
Maybe,
what has Chad Gable done, or what has Alpha Academy done since that feud with Gunther?
Is it possible that they're getting them closer to WrestleMania to split up so that they can have a feud with each other? Is that what's going on?
No, I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the year the Alpha Academy are the same position they're in right now, doing nothing, being
Probably
a jobber
worse.
fucking act, being a comedy act that still gets big reactions, and especially on the house shows too.
What
They
about
get
the
really
other
good
two guys?
reactions there?
What about the other two guys who did really well?
Zawa and Dupree.
No, I want to tell you. I want to say it one more time. There's two guys who were doing really well. It seemed like, and were destined for something similar to Chad Gable. How I just said, I feel like they should have been a good tag team for a couple of years, 3 years, and then Chad Gable should have broken off in this singles way. There's another team that should be dealing with the same thing right now. What the fuck are they doing? And you know what I'm talking about?
New Day.
No, New Day did great.
I think the New Day should have broken up, but
Well, no, but I'm talking about Not Private Party. The other ones. You know, the solo cup.
You mean
Street Profits.
Street Profits.
Yeah, Street Profits. Why?
Well, right now they're in a faction with Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. Why?
They just wanted to put them together. Apparently, they were also going to SmackDown.
I know what you mean, Joe. I know what you mean because it really did seem like, especially last time, around this time last year. Remember, fucking Montez Ford was in the Elimination Chamber, and we all thought, "Oh, this is his big singles push that's getting started, and it's going to build this rivalry." And it really does seem like they either someone in creative wasn't
ready,
too happy with what, you know, they don't want them to be a singles competitor just yet. They kind of don't think they're ready. Or what I think might have happened is they might have gotten mad at Montez Ford for doing about 47 DX chops in the match. Remember, he was constantly chopping at his crotch with like every mood. So they're like, you know what? We were gonna push you, kid, but back to the line you go. Back to the line you go.
It was weird, dude. Remember also that what's her oh my god, I'm just blanking out. Bianca Belair was also on SmackDown, so I don't know if Montez wanted to spend more time, obviously being with his wife, on the same show. It makes sense.
Well, now they're doing a reality show together too. So you think the reality show took away from it? I don't know. I don't get it. What the hell happened? So it's like I just feel like there was a clear destination for the Street Profits to like. It's already over at this point. They're like heels and they're weird and they're like in the background. This is what happened to Private Party too. But it's like, dude, instead of them being heels and in the background and with Bobby Lashley, we're with Bobby Lashley because we're all black guys. That makes sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
He's the big black guy, so we gotta listen to him.
And we gotta listen to him, yeah, because he's the veteran one. It's like, no, bro. Like, you should have pulled the trigger on this friendship fight. And I'm thinking this. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say something different than you guys. I think that they did want to push Montavious. And
Montavious,
Montel, Porter, MVP, they all look the same.
Montez Ford.
Get it right, Joe. Get it right.
Montez
and they call
Ford.
me a liar.
Jesus Christ. Montez Ford.
That's an example of lying, Rostaffa.
Montez... See, I don't remember names anymore now. This is how bad it's gotten. Montez, they were going to push him, and then he said no. That's my guess. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm crazy. But, like, I almost think he was like, no, we don't want to break up. Don't break us up. We don't want to break up. And because they listen a little more than they used to, they went, okay, all right. And now they're just utilizing him like, fuck it. This is the same thing that happened with AJ Styles. AJ Styles was the man. He was the champion and the man. And he said, I don't want to do this anymore. Right. And he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I've had enough. You know, put the belt on somebody else. I want to spend more time with my family and stuff. It's a long road.
And play video games.
Okay. All right. And then what happened to AJ after that? He was in just goofy shit and whatever the fuck else. He did do some stuff with Samoa Joe. It was cool. But pretty much, like, he got pushed on the back burner, which is not a problem.
He was already champion. He was already champion when he was doing that with Samoa Joe.
Oh.
AJ gave up the title. He was in the middle of a year-long reign. A year-fucking-long reign, and they had him just lose it on a random SmackDown when they were priming him and having him get ready to have a rematch with Brock, which he probably would have lost again. But still, are you taking a shit right now? Like, what is going on?
Me?
No, I could swear I hear like diarrhea shit going through like Rostaffa's mic. I just hear.
Oh my god! How did you do that noise?
I literally just poured water in a cup.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, I'm clean. Oh. I'm cleaning out my system. Hey. Where's that?
I'm cleaning up my system. Oh my god, the video of him saying footage is just so hilarious. Please play that video.
I don't know where it is.
I'll find it.
I'll
send it to you.
So my theory is that for whatever reason, Montez has obviously been pushed on the back burner, and so have the Street Profits. They've just been put on the back burner. So I'm betting, and whenever that happens, it's like when somebody like, it's like when it's like a passive aggressive thing. Like, hey guys, I know you see me as this star and you're gonna push me and whatever. I don't really want to do that. And then it's like, oh, okay. All right, well, okay, well,
We're gonna kill you.
Well, then, it's just one of those things where it's like resentful. It's like, okay, well, you didn't want to, like, we were doing all this for you, and you don't want to do that. Like, well, fuck them. Like, whatever. Then you just do whatever, and that's sort of what happens.
God
like,
damn
they
it.
get uninterested.
How many
in you.
videos does fucking Tommy have? It's like
Lot.
a million
lot.
fucking videos. Jesus,
A lot.
A lot. I've got it somewhere. But so, like, if you put what's going on with the Street Profits next to what AJ Styles did over the last couple, 3 years, whatever it's been since he last said, I don't want to be champion, and it's very similar. It's like, what do you call it? It's like cruise control, not very fun, creative. I guess is that how to explain it. So it's not like they're burying you, but it's like they're sort of just like, okay, well, we'll whatever you then, I guess.
The only difference based upon what AJ was doing for the past 3 years and what he's doing now is that he's basically taken on the character, what he did, I think, in later TNA period, as well as in the NJPW, where he's been becoming like the lone wolf. Where that's why he had the segment backstage with the Good Brothers, and basically it was just like are you with me? Are you truly with me? Because he's basically being a heel. And which I think is great for him at this point, because just him being a babyface, just as a babyface alone, he was sucking at it for a while, and this is a new look for him. And it's good.
No, Kermac.
Scissor me, Joe!
Yo, Joe. That idea you had a couple weeks ago about the Back to the Future Ninja Turtles crossover would be awesome. They could use the scepter from TMNT 3 and the DeLorean for time travel.
Oh, good idea.
Start writing.
Let's go, Kermac. That is
Let's
a great
see if you get the
idea.
rights for it.
Oh man, imagine that.
Would you be able to put Michael J. Fox in there, despite the fact of his declining health?
Absolutely, I talked about it because you could have him at the beginning for a second, and then there's like a middle of the movie moment or whatever. But then there's
you would put him in the beginning of the movie. You wouldn't wait for him to come out to the end.
You know what? I don't know if I'd put him in the beginning. The Doc would definitely be in the beginning for a minute, and then but then they're gonna show up at the end, because the hero shot when they show up at the end is that they're in the DeLorean. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the thing. You have to recreate the DeLorean because it got destroyed in part 3.
Right, and that's part of the story, is that, like, the bad guy, the Shredder and Krang went back in time to, like, steal the DeLorean or something like that, or whatever the case is. So it's like
they're really. Wait. Is this like a crossover of?
Yes,
this conversation.
I did a whole rant one night on how I was going to we were going to do Back to the Future 4 and Ninja Turtles 4 in a crossover movie about time travel, and it'd be great with Dimension X and Krang and the Shredder, and it'd be the Turtles from, like, the old movies, and then
Got it.
Oh my God, it'd be great.
By the way, I found a video of Tommy going, ran into a Tommy head. The title says, ran into a Tommy head. His name is Jacob or Jake. Like he's not sure.
Oh my God.
I don't know what
Oh
his
my
name
God.
is. I think it's Jacob or Jake. It's David.
Yo,
Yeah,
thank you, Kermac, for that $3, man.
Shit bum.
Shit bum.
I wish WWE would bring back the entrance videos and gobble gobble.
Gobble
Yes.
gobble.
Yes, please bring that back. Bring back the pyro, everything, please.
Well, Pyro's back. I don't know what.
No, not as much, not as often as it
Yeah.
should be. It's not every week.
Broken
They're
Lion.
saving money on the budget.
That's not too bad of an idea, I guess. But Broken Lion, thank you for the $5, becoming a $5 ship bum. The OG Broken Lion, baby. After D. Welsh and Mustafa Lies dropped $150.
He deleted the video of him shitting himself. Fuck.
Well, I got the
I'm
clip,
annoyed.
though, somewhere, so it doesn't matter.
CKY did that years prior, so it's not like anything new.
They did what?
What?
CKY did, basically a video crapping
the
himself and it
fuck
got
up.
viral. Literally. The jackass guys from CKY did that.
Yeah.
Shit bum.
Well, that's an old school one, then.
Finger hole ha 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 ha.
Speaking of which, there you go.
Jesus Christ. Wow, that was
More
definitely...
toilet humor.
No, that was Broken Line.
You are fucked.
I love
Well,
the
Joe,
dick.
I couldn't find it, but I'm gonna send you something that's almost as funny.
I'll send you something that's almost as funny.
Oh God.
This finna be a breeze.
What did he say?
That was the New Day. Remember when they?
This finna be a breeze.
Got it.
That killed me, bro. This finna be a breeze. Like, dude, I lost it. I remember that night just fucking dying because that was hilarious to me.
Have you noticed that Corey Graves and some of the other commentators, whenever like there's like the big guys that are going at it, they always reference Big E's quote that he said on the New Day podcast: "Big meaty men slapping meat."
Hey Joe,
They
I
do
sent
that
you a
every
video.
week now.
What is wrong with Big E, bro? What the fuck is wrong?
Big E just likes to seem like he's eccentric and he's like gay just to like get laughs, but then he's also kind of like he's a bit of a virtue signaler and like kind of annoying about politics. Like I just remember him getting into it with The Miz on Talking Smack and basically being like telling The Miz that The Miz doesn't understand what Kofi had to go through because Miz isn't black. And then like Miz is like, you do realize that I haven't been champion in like 9 years and I'm basically booked like a fucking idiot. And they make fun of my balls. They make fun of my balls. And then Big E, while he's trying to have this serious conversation, is like sitting with his legs up all the way on the like where his crotch is basically just sticking out. So it's like, you know how like if you sit with your legs up on a table that's higher than you kind of look like you're giving birth. Like that's the way that Big E is sitting. But then he's also trying to give like this serious like take no shit attitude with The Miz. And it's like The Miz basically tells him, you know, Big E, you want to be the champion, you want to be WWE champion. Nobody's going to think you're a champion. Nobody's going to take you seriously when you're acting like a fucking idiot. That's basically what The Miz was telling. When you act like you want to get fucked in the ass, nobody wants to see you win the world title. Basically, I'm sorry.
Yeah, look
That's
at
just
Shawn
how it
Michaels.
works.
Look what happened to Shawn Michaels. Listen, I loved it because I was a weird little kid. But everybody was like, I hate.
I mean, he
Shawn.
wanted to get his dick sucked. He didn't make it seem like he wanted to fuck other dudes. But yeah, I sent you a video of something that you might enjoy. It's an old flashback.
That guy's dead.
Is he?
Yeah, he's dead. So isn't his girl.
Damn it! Now I feel bad. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
What happened?
They still don't. We still donate to J Rock in his memory.
Dakota, after we parted ways, what happened to you? After we parted ways, what happened to you exactly?
Well, I got bored.
Wait, did that lady behind them yell "move over"?
No.
So Dakota, after we parted ways, what happened to you? After we parted ways.
Oh, maybe that was the camera person. Okay, which is I think his wife who's dead.
What happened to you exactly?
Oh my God.
Well, I got bored of North Carolina after I got married, and I decided to go.
He died there too.
For the harvest, actually.
Go to Colorado for the harvest.
They buried his body at
What
the
are they
harvest.
harvesting?
Like for the baby harvest.
The black harvest.
How messed up? Oh, how messed up is it that
We
him?
harvest slaves over here still.
Get back to the field.
Him and his girlfriend are dead. Like that's crazy too. Like just like Wayne Static and his girlfriend.
Well, I mean, to be quite honest, it's not that crazy. Look at him.
You're right, but yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, I hate these.
I'm sorry,
I
J-Rock.
do really hate these types of people. By the way, I hate getting them in line because they're the same ones that want to buy a fucking pack of blunts with nothing but quarters, and it's like, dude, it's a $2 purchase. I see you have ones. They're like, yeah, but I'm gonna use my ones for something else, and they pull out a shit ton of quarters. All the quarters have like shit and dirt all over them. Their nails are disgusting. Their skin is covered with dirt. Like they're just nasty fucking people that take up time and space. R.I.P. J Rock.
Rest in peace, J Rock. I have a clip from a guy called Anal. Someone sent me. Let me see what this is. Let me see what he says. Joe, you're gonna please react to this guy's comments on Kevin Dunn. Okay, the guy's name's Anal. Okay.
It looks like they have replaced Kevin Dunn. So I want to talk a little bit about this too, because I find this to be quite fascinating. WWE has hired Lee Fitting as the head of media and production after Kevin Dunn's departure. This actually came straight from WWE themselves. They've released a press release today, January 9th, 2024. WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings, today announced that media industry veteran Lee Fitting has joined this company as the head of media and production. Nick Khan says that Lee is a phenomenal leader and executive known for work that generates both critical acclaim and mass appeal.
I don't know his work, so that doesn't matter, but cool, they hired someone new. We knew that was going to happen. Okay.
Catapult WWE.
Yeah, he filmed those tanks running over
Fitting
people.
brings more than 2 decades of production experience to WWE. He originally came from ESPN, where he oversaw production for tentpole properties, including Monday Night Football, College Game Day, the College Football Playoff, and many other properties within.
Let's hope he doesn't.
Mainly sports.
Let's hope he doesn't.
How's that critically acclaimed?
Let's hope he doesn't cut a million times during the wrestling.
How was that critically acclaimed though? Like, dude.
Well, he's a sports guy. He's not an entertainment videographer. He's more so in the athletic.
I'm saying though, what I'm saying is, like, how is that critically acclaimed? Because from what I remember, WWE never won an Oscar. Has anybody who directed sports ever, not an Oscar, but have they ever won an Emmy before for just direction of sports?
All the critical,
maybe sports is ratings.
All right, let me explain. You want me to explain it? Please. Yeah. There's award winning, then there's critically acclaimed. Critically acclaimed could be anybody. All it means is that a critic talked about you, like in some way. Like that's. Like, I mean, right? I mean, that just means that some notable people talked about you before. Like, that's about what it means, right? So it's not like award-winning. But who cares anyway? Because like you said, what's his face? Kevin Dunn never won an award, and he should have in the 90s.
The Disney portfolio. Wow, so
Disney
this is somebody that actually has a background.
Wow, the guy has a really good background. Okay, so why am I listening to this guy? Let's listen to some more.
With sports. And I find that to be fascinating because obviously Kevin Dunn... I can't really say much about Kevin Dunn, really. I think,
what?
Obviously he's been in WWE forever. He was in WWE forever.
What do you mean you can't say much about Kevin Dunn? I could do a fucking documentary on Kevin Dunn. What the fuck do you mean you can't say anything about Kevin Dunn? What does that mean?
And that's largely due.
I mean, maybe he doesn't know much. I don't know much about Kevin Dunn. I know, but like
what? But I mean,
no. When I mean, like, I know obviously of his body of work, but like, I don't really know much of him as a person. Like, I never really found him to be like. I was more interested in learning about Vince and other people than just Kevin Dunn. I just always thought he was like that weird guy.
I could talk a lot about him because you're seeing him every single goddamn show you ever seen. Like, it's like.
You're seeing his body of work, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what could I say about? I could say a lot about him.
You could say a lot about Kevin Dunn based on the people that have actually worked with him that have talked about him in shoot videos for the past 20 years.
I think this guy's talking about professionally. He doesn't know what to say about him.
Oh, professionally?
Okay,
I mean...
Well, let's listen. Let's see if he says anything else because I'm confused. How would you? I have a lot to say about Kevin Dunn.
WWE forever. He was in WWE forever, and that's largely due to the fact that he was one of Vince's guys. Vince is no longer there. WWE's making a change. Does this overall change WWE's potential presentation to a more sports-related approach? I don't know. That's why I think I'm fascinated by this. I really don't know what to predict here. Will WWE keep doing 100,000 camera cuts in a match? Like, something.
That's the part I hope they stop doing. That's the issue.
Need to change in that regard. Hopefully Triple H and Nick Khan can kind of have a vision for how they want the product to be produced, and then hopefully this guy can help bring a nice, beautiful, positive spin to it. Because I think Kevin Dunn, for a while, like, I know it's popular in the IWC to bury Kevin Dunn, and I'm not going to sit here and act. I didn't watch Kevin Dunn in real time produce, from a production truck or anything like that. What was his true influence in WWE? You hear stories and stuff, but it's not something I actually seen him physically do. But I think the cool thing.
Why would you?
Is when you bring in a new face, right?
All right. What I am already annoyed with this person because this guy has nothing to say about Kevin Dunn. Like, has he ever watched wrestling? Like, Kevin Dunn produced.
I mean, like, pretty much. Think of just like some of the most iconic shots in history, like, even recently, 2011, CM Punk kissing Vince McMahon goodbye with the air kiss with the WWE title while he's in the crowd. That's an iconic shot. Kevin Dunn.
Rockin' Hogan. Rockin' Hogan at WrestleMania 18.
Yes, like, I mean,
Kevin Dunn.
dude, like...
or recently, or even recently.
Kevin Dunn is. I don't know what to say about Kevin Dunn. I don't really know what he does. I've never seen him do anything. What are you talking about?
Or recently, remember, Cody loses at WrestleMania. The close-up shot of Cody looking dejected and depressed, while in the background, Roman has the titles raised. Perfect. It's cinematography right there. Kevin Dunn. That's him. I don't have much to say about his work. I don't know. I mean, I didn't see him do it.
I think it's real simple. Kevin Dunn started out with some of the most iconic shots and ideas and filmography, and the guy originally started like a sports. He used to shoot WWE like sports, and then he used to shoot it like sports theater, and he was innovative with the above the cameras and the other things he did, and the way he produced the shows were so good. But then at some point, Kevin Dunn got carried away with the idea that WWE was going to be like a Hollywood movie instead of like sports.
It's entertainment and it's not sport. That's why Jim Cornette hated him.
And and we know from Cornette that that's where he went. So Kevin Dunn got carried away. So he's a guy that started out amazing with a whole bunch of hits, and eventually he started spewing out like stinkers, and then he just stayed around way too long. And so, yeah, you could really talk a whole lot about Kevin Dunn. Then you could talk about Kevin Dunn's influence behind the scenes that didn't have anything to really do with the production. And I understand if he doesn't know about that, that's fine. Like, I get it.
And think about this, Joe, and think about this. He's barely had time off. He's been there week after week after week for the process of going on, what, almost 40 years?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know exactly when he started, but it was definitely in the 80s. And allegedly the story goes, and I've said this before, apparently his dad saved like the tape library or whatever that, you know, the WWF had. And apparently Vince Jr., as he heard about that, said to Kevin Dunn that, like, you know, you have a job for life, and that's why he stuck around for so long. And basically, apparently the reason why he left is because, you know, the turning of the guard was coming. He saw it, but he had already made bank in the stock market for years, so he's loaded and he's set for life. So if he said, okay, I'm done, he's done. So he made his mark. Whether people like him or not, he did make his mark.
Yeah. Yep.
I saw a really hot video of Tiffany Stratton.
Oh my God. The cartel just broke into the television set, a television studio in Ecuador, and kidnapped a bunch of people during a live broadcast.
Wait, what?
No.
Dude, Ecuador is going nuts right now. They executed...
Wait, now?
Apparently, like someone just tweeted it out.
What?
Oh my God, there's like 7 guys with guns on the stage. It's
Damn!
Dude, Ecuador is nuts right now. They've been killing people, executing police. Like, Ecuador is nuts. Anyway, real quickly, Taz retweeted this.
Who would have expected it from Ecuador?
Yeah, who would? You never see that coming. Ecuador. Why would they all want to come?
I love their football team. I love their soccer team.
Yeah, incoming.
Yeah, they'll be executed next.
Incoming 50,000 more migrants from somewhere. Taz.
Oh my God, I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of them. They fucking just all of them.
What did Taz say?
Just like the Irish in 1920.
Hey, can you learn to sit in the fucking front of the just one at a time, or if you're all gonna come up at a time, be with each other. Not like, oh, I'm gonna come to the front of the line. Oh, look, my friend, he coming over. He got 50 and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? Now I got to wait fucking like 3 or 4 minutes for everybody in your fucking 37 group of posse. Like, there's so many fucking people in their little group.
Yeah.
They're all fucking, they all cut lawns too. And none of them speak English correctly. They always try to skimp you out on money because they pretend to not to be able to read numbers. I'm like, you see the number right there. Like, I don't give a shit if you can't speak English. You know how much money you owe.
Right.
So don't be fucking stupid.
Well, the money conversion is different, but in New York, did you see this?
I'm turning into a racist.
Right. Well, you're half Hispanic, right? Anyway, they are shutting down the schools to put immigrants in the schools, and kids.
I heard about it.
Kids are going to be doing remote schooling so the immigrant people can be in the school.
Kids don't have a problem with that.
And when they brought the immigrants into the school, they came in the regular doors, and someone was like, "Look, unlike the children in the morning, they don't need the metal detectors." Like,
or they don't have to show their green card or their ID card, right?
Well, they're not going to have a green card because they're just...
Oh no, I'm talking about like the kids like that are actually
yeah.
registered.
Taz
New York is
Taz just
ridiculous.
tweeted. Taz said, "Yeah, that's right. We are ready," and he tweeted this out in response to this whole fight going on with Jinder Mahal and Tony Khan and Eric Bischoff.
Can you put that on the screen?
The tweet?
Yeah, put it on the screen because I don't have access to it.
Well, no, I'm gonna play. So all he did was tweet out a video of ECW. So let's see what. I guess he's sending out a message through an old Paul E promo.
And if you'd like a piece of us, you come right on down, bring all the friends you want from any organization, any wussies out there, and I use the letter W instead of P so they can air it right now, that want a piece of Sabu, Taz, or me, bring it on down to the middle of the ring this Saturday night. We will be standing there waiting for you.
So that's what Taz tweeted at them. So Taz thinks the WWE guys are going to show up in the AEW
Are you
ring.
serious?
I don't know.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
It's just goofy at this point. I don't know.
And no wonder I got blocked by him because I was calling his crap out.
Wow, you got blocked by Taz?
Hey Joe, did you hear not to completely change the subject, but did you hear stuff that's going on with Pat McAfee and Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel?
I know that Jimmy Kimmel got all pissy about the island, and then Aaron Rodgers was like, "Yeah, you were on the island, motherfucker," or whatever.
Did he threaten that he was going to sue him or something, Kimmel?
Yeah, he did. But I don't know. I don't know what light's been shed on, Jimmy Kimmel. I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy Kimmel was a weirdo because back in the day he used to hump girls and degrade women, which was funny, and we loved him for it, and I love him.
We know he's a fake sellout.
He's a fake sellout, and now he's like, I cry when I think about Trump becoming president.
Or the shootings that happened at this school, which was practically on a yearly basis.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's just the guy's a fake fuck. But so it wouldn't surprise me if he was on the island, but I don't know. I don't know if he really has been or if any proof has come out on that yet. I don't think so, but he was on a list, but there was a lot of fake lists, so I don't want to say anybody was on the island that weren't. But one thing's for sure, the guy's a pussy. I'll say that. Jimmy Kimmel's a pussy. You heard it here. Why? What else am I missing about the story, though? Am I missing anything else?
No, I mean, I saw it really not. That's I saw somebody bring it up earlier, and I was like, oh, they asked if you could talk about it. So I did.
Oh, well, there you go. That's all I know about it. I mean, I hope not because he's got a baby. He's got a little kid.
Oh my god. Oh, dude, I'm sorry for the.
I hope not too, because I find those Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon videos funny.
Did you just come?
No, dude. Eric Bischoff he put out another tweet. He goes basically. Remember I showed you about that tweet that Tony put out where he says, "Get out of my sight, you miserable has-been." It's basically from a movie, and Eric Bischoff goes, "So you got to think for that hairstyle, you don't you, Tony?" Basically saying that you look like a woman.
Oh my god.
Oh god, guys, this is gonna be going on for the next 2 days. I swear.
I thought I was a fucking a cocksucker on Twitter, but.
Oh my god, Dave! Oh my god, you're gonna love this. Dave LaGreca, out of all people, goes, "Hook ain't shook," and Hook's got that GIF where his hair's all messed up and everything and he's got this look on his face. I'm like, bruh, fix your freaking hair, comb it.
I want Dave LaGreca to fall down a flight of stairs.
Well, he actually already done that. He's messed up his back actually one time by doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad you know everything about him.
Not everything, but just I know because he tweeted it. He tweeted it. That's how reason why I know about it. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I hope he goes to hell. He actually did go there one time. He had a doctor's appointment. How the fuck do you know?
How hot was it?
Super chat party.
F. Tony Khan and G. Gay you I love you Luke Rojas moi.
Was that Randy Viper?
Apparently, Randy Viper's got a thing for you, Luke Rojas.
Randy Viper. I love you.
It doesn't compete with D. Welsh or Mustafa's lies, 150, but he is putting his New Zealand dollars in there.
And, speaking of D. Welsh actually recently said something. He said, begrudgingly, I'll admit it, Luke. Honestly, you've been a fucking great champion. Even D. Welsh admitted that. And our checkered past. And, as great as a monetized this champion as I have been, and I have been great, fuck you, Mr. Pico, you piece of shit.
Hold on, wait a minute, Luke. Are you putting over D. Welsh?
Oh yeah, because D. Welsh put me over, and we already buried the hatchet. We're good, so yeah. But the champion, as great as I have been, the champion wants his fucking title belts. Joe, what the fuck are you doing with my fucking titles? Are you serious right now? You keep deflecting the fucking conversation. You keep ignoring me. You ignored those texts, bro, I sent you. You fucking, I don't know. You ignore everything.
Guys, this is crazy. Pat McAfee apparently trashed a fucking executive at ESPN on his show today. I mean, I don't know if this is real, but, bro, that show is going to be over. He's on ESPN. He's crapping on ESPN. Pat McAfee. Is that we got to find the clip of this. Where is the clip of this, Welsh?
Doesn't he have $100 million contract?
Yeah, you got a big ass fucking thing over there. By the way, Star Trek director fucking, oh my Christ, I feel bad. I'm so sorry. It said J.J. Abrams. Fuck J.J. Abrams. He dies.
Terry McGinnis.
Sorry, Terry Metalis. Terry Metalis won an award the other day with Jerry Ryan for Picard season 3. Yeah, I just want to shout that out.
And then he fingered Jerry Ryan on stage. Very sexy.
Good job.
But
Terry Metalis.
It's even more insane than him calling out that ESPN guy is you not sending me the fucking title belts that you fucking owe me, and you keep ignoring me. You're not playing your fucking fuck game with me, Joe. Your time is limited with those fucking belts. You better send them. You better send them to me, because before you know it, Joe, I'll have already surpassed Leah's longest title reign of 160 whatever days.
Well, you're gonna end up like Minnesota. You're gonna end up like Minnesota's friend. How about that?
I don't know Minnesota's friend. I don't know what little joke you're referencing. Nobody does. So
well, nobody knows.
Good one on you.
Nobody knows who you are. How about that? What is this Halo
if I had my fucking belts that you owe me, where are my titles, dude? Seriously, I've been waiting forever.
Well, you're putting a plural on there that doesn't exist, but look at Tony Khan here.
Really? Because they're gonna be both of those belts. You better send me both of those belts, you motherfucker, making me wait 6 fucking months. Are you kidding me? I literally won the title on September 23rd. Like now it's what is it? January 10th. Not one. Like Joe hasn't even bought a box yet.
That's the problem. I need a box. Here's the clip.
Very appreciative, and we understand that more people are watching this show than ever before. We're very thankful for the ESPN folks being very hospitable. Now, there are some people actively trying to sabotage us from within ESPN. Funny. More specifically, I believe Norby Williamson is the guy who is attempting to sabotage.
Wow, going full Howard Stern. Love it.
Our program. I'm not 100% sure. That is just seemingly the only human that has information, and then somehow that information gets leaked, and it's wrong, and then it sets a narrative of what our show is, and then are we just going to combat that from a rat every single time? I don't know. But, like, somebody tried to get ahead of our actual ratings release with wrong numbers 12 hours beforehand. That's a sabotage.
Wow.
Take my 46 cents, Joe.
Oh, Randy Viper, thank you for the 46 cents. You rat sabotager, Randy Viper. Thank you, sir. Let's listen.
Attempt. And it's been happening basically this entire season from some people who didn't necessarily love the old edition of the Pat McAfee show to the ESPN family. Sure. There's a lot of those. We've heard them anonymously quoted in the Washington Post,
Why?
in the New York Post, in the New York Times, in the LA Times, in Wall Street Journal. And they're never like, yeah, love the show. This is awesome. It's always like little things to try to tear us down. So even with the enemy within our own camp, somebody that I don't like that guy. That guy left me in his office for 45 minutes, no-showed me in 2018. So this guy has had zero respect for me. And in return, same thing back to him for a long time. So even with that taking place and potential PR, like we're still growing somehow.
Yep.
So we're very thankful.
Yeah.
I think we're doing it right. We're trying to do it as right as possible. We have good intentions every single time we come in here. We don't always get it right, but motherfuckers been getting it wrong for a long time in this specific field. Long time.
Every day. Every single day. What do you
And he probably should be pushed down a flight of stairs, everybody. What do you say?
mean? Like you said, you have the right intentions. Like, we're trying to sit here and have fun and talk about sports.
Yeah, so like this, and and that's why you stay on YouTube, right? But it's also why you don't, I guess. Why would someone, I'm trying to figure out why someone would be jealous or angry that, like a guy was on YouTube at a mega huge show and now, ESPN signed him for $100 million. And so you're trying to like take it off the air. Like, how does that benefit that person? I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know because I'm not at ESPN.
He might just not like the type of humor, the type of basically like maybe, I get the sense that they're kind of the anti-woke establishment Pat McAfee, you know what I mean?
They
maybe,
are.
Especially with that Aaron Rodgers interview.
Shit bomb.
And that's what I'm assuming
yes.
is going
you
on there.
probably don't want the belt. Joe has probably done Paige stuff with the belt.
Oh, no.
Right?
No. He's getting the dirty one. I'm telling you, Broken Line.
Bluge.
He's getting the dirty belt, the dirtiest belt ever. However, Leah's tits were on that belt, but so weren't Bobbitt's. So either way, Broken Line.
Oh, I want the new one. If you're gonna send me one belt, you better send me the new one, the pretty one.
You can't send.
I don't want the.
What if he?
That one's in a.
Why not?
That one's in the Smithsonian.
Yeah, right, like you can afford it. Like you can afford to send it to the Smithsonian. You better send me that new belt. I'm literally the champion. You are fucking treating me like I am a joke. This is insane.
He's treating you like a jobber.
You're disrespecting me. How dare you?
Right, you're damn right.
Shit bomb.
Who's that?
Luke will get diabetes before he gets the belt.
Oh my God, Luke will get diabetes. Oh my God!
Making me
See, this is
right now. I'm eating a pretzel.
Triple H. This is like Luke not understanding Triple H's slow burn fucking build that he does in all his fucking matches. Getting that belt. But so I forgot about. I forgot about the fact that the Aaron Rodgers thing and the right wing sort of angle here. I forgot about that. You're right. That is what it is. That guy probably works for like the deep state liberals, and he's like, we got to get this guy the fuck off the air, that sort of thing. And ESPN is part of Disney, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So yes, that's what it is. I totally forgot about it. So Pat McAfee has a guy. Aaron Rodgers is not afraid to be very right wing. I would say Pat McAfee is more middle ground. Pat McAfee is more subtle. He doesn't really get into the politics that much. He just seems to tell it like it is and stay away from the politics for the most part, I thought. But it seems like Aaron Rodgers, he don't give a shit. Aaron Rodgers is going to say what he says. And Pat McAfee's not a person that really wants to censor people either. So I guess he's being lumped in with that, I suppose. And so now I get it, right? Because nobody wants to censor people more than, the political side of things. For whatever reason, the left-leaning people really want to silence people. And so maybe that's what it is because they got Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers probably says some dumb things that are wrong, but
it isn't always that either. It's a mixture probably of that.
Aren't they part of ABC
radio
too?
Radio executives, podcast executives, whatever. You know what I mean? They've been doing this for years where they just try to intervene on something that's not like they just try to change things of a show that they're the ones that they hired a show knowing that show's type of humor. And now they're mad about it. And they want to like not censor it, but they want to basically throw them under the bus. It's like, even if that executive isn't responsible, that executive probably isn't responsible for hiring Pat McAfee. It's just like, oh, yeah, you're working here. I heard about that. That's great. It's great. Why don't you go wait in my office and I'll have a meeting with you. I'll talk with you. And then he ditches him. So that's like a power play to show like, yeah, I don't care if you are working for ESPN. I don't fucking like you and I got more power than you. I see it as that.
Probably more,
I see it as that.
and probably more presence because he's also in wrestling as well. So he's got even a bigger audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's that executive's a moron. He's gonna lose because the entertainer's much bigger than his dumbass. But yeah, I hate scumbag snakes like those type of people. And it sounds like they got a real cum guzzling snake over there at ESPN. You know,
Them and Sirius XM.
Pat McAfee's lying out of his fucking ass, and he's actually a really nice guy. We just believe him.
Here's a nice guy.
Okay. Well, I'm eating my pretzel.
Yeah.
Getting diabetes before I won my title.
Wait a minute. Is the pretzel store closed on Mondays and Tuesdays?
No.
Damn. Wow, you had to give me a long pregnant pause just for that. I'm trying to set you up and you killed it. The ship is sailed, it's gone.
Well, also ESPN is Disney, you're right, and ESPN is the home of Jimmy Kimmel, right? ABC, so
same.
They probably know Jimmy Kimmel too.
Both
so
Disney.
But WWE,
but they're also
WWE made a deal with NBC for Peacock.
No, well, yeah, but I'm talking about ABC. ABC and ESPN are the same group as well, right? So
everything is becoming monopolized. And,
right.
Well, ESPN is also partnered with WWE.
Yes.
Which is partnered with Fox and has ties to Trump. And NBC has WWE on Peacock.
On Peacock, I was just going to say that's their affiliation, right?
If that's any indication that these fucking corporations don't give a shit about politics and just use it to virtue signal and are complete hypocrites, then I don't know what does.
Yeah, they're all full of shit. Here's the other clip that D. Welsh sent me. Aaron Rodgers talking about Jimmy Kimmel. It's just spinning though. Maybe we'll play.
Buffering.
Yeah, it's like buffering over and over again. It's really buffering. It's on the Twitter. I don't know if it's like they're.
I wasn't aware that there was a second clip. I've only heard the first one.
Well, that was the one of him yelling at the ABC guy.
Party.
Joe, acknowledge our champ Sir Luke Rojas.
The Monetize This champion, Luke Rojas, is eating a pretzel right now, Randy Viper.
Choking on a pretzel.
It's just spinning.
Choking on, it is very salty pretzel he's choking on.
McAfee, Pat McAfee is bigger than ESPN. His audience is bigger than ESPN tried to buy because they're losing theirs. Removing him from ESPN would only hurt their reach with boomers. Kimmel will own them in court. Okay. Well, I can't play this clip for whatever reason, D. Welsh. It's not you. It's just not playing. It's just spinning. Like, I don't know what's going on. I've refreshed the page several times. Look at it. It's just spinning. I went to the custom page. It's very weird.
Where's the source coming from? Does it come from YouTube?
Twitter.
Oh, it's just Twitter. Well, try to find it on YouTube. Dude, the echo on that is insane.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and that's because they were outside, right? They were out in the dark. Oh, do you see the stuff about Rebby Hardy and Matt Hardy splitting up still?
Dude, I wanted to bring that up yesterday. So yeah, apparently there's rumor and innuendo going about it. About to have a divorce.
There's no innuendo.
It's an innuendo. We don't know if it's for sure or not. So they might be getting divorced.
That's not what an innuendo. Whatever.
All right, so I looked into this, and I don't think it has to do with them getting divorced because I've seen no evidence of any kind of.
I haven't seen any evidence either. I'm not saying that it is, but that's what people have been saying.
WNBC. But no, so I'm going to tell you what I think. And this is what me and Leah came to this conclusion. It's Rebby Hardy basically sort of complaining about, how she has to deal with Matt Hardy because he essentially has CTE. Like, and they're not saying he has CTE, but she's talking about like it sounds like the frustration of that he's not there and that when he's there, she can't even rely on him to do something small.
Basic things.
Yeah, because he like forgets or like doesn't know. Like she was like, only go pick out green balloons for the party, but only green balloons because we're going to coordinate it with this. And then he comes home with like blue balloons. And then he's like, oh, I don't. And so she's like, what the fuck, Matt? And he's like, I don't know. and she's noticing all these things about him. So it at the very least, what I'm getting out of is it feels like there's some kind of like, because of all his wrestling and his fucking head and shit, he's got these memory things and difficulties, and he's always away and gone and all these sort of things. So she's frustrated with that. That's what seems to be what's going on. Not that they're getting a divorce or something, but also Matt Hardy then took to Twitter, and then Matt Hardy had been tweeting out like all these things about, you know.
Yeah, and Rebby coming back saying, yeah, like, yeah, right, or LOL, or, you know, whatever the little short.
Well, Matt said
one
that
of these days, though, you're just going to get a tweet from Matt saying, you know, the dogs are in the enclosed space.
Oh, no, come on.
I just want him to tweet out. I want him to tweet out "sad days for Rebby." Delete,
Maddie.
Oh, and that's another thing too.
No,
go ahead,
Matt
Joe.
Hardy had basically messaged out, "I do not have CTE." He said that. That's what he tweeted out.
And then
he spelled it too.
And he spelled
and
it
then Rebby
331. No, I don't know. Go ahead.
Rebby Hardy, and we can all agree, she's been very vocal in terms of like the Hardy clan, in terms of like them interacting on Twitter, as far as anything, you know.
Well, she's
that they
got the
disagree
whole
with.
baby thing, the gothic baby book stuff and all that stuff. And like, she was just in a fight for a week with like these UK people who shit on her baby thing.
Yeah, no, a lot of people crap on her. A lot of people have.
I love
Even
Rebby
during
though.
the-
I love
I do
them.
too.
I'm wicked. Their house is amazing. The kids love them. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, back in 2017, I mean, when she was doing the F That Owl campaign against TNA and Anthem, of course we're behind them, because like we felt like, you know, they were the biggest thing that were going on in the company at that time. Definitely deserved their, you know, their credibility. But it's almost as if like other things, like again within their marriage, or, you know, when Jeff Hardy was drunk again, or he had an alcohol relapse and stuff is spreading on Twitter, and then Jeff Hardy's wife's getting involved. You know, it's a bunch of stuff that didn't necessarily need to happen. But Rebby's mainly been the most vocal out of all the, you know, even more so than Jeff or Matt. Matt can speak a bit, but Jeff's kind of like laid back. Out of everybody that's spoken as far as the clan goes, she's the most vocal. And yeah, she has her own, social media. She does her own thing. But every time when it involves wrestling, it's usually something negative, you know, to say.
Yeah.
And not necessarily to do. She performs with, you know, if she was asked to do like, you know, the Broken Universe stuff, she'll do it or whatever. But when it comes to just, you know, just them in the business and their marriage or whatever problems that the Hardys been having get thrown into the business that's not necessarily public, it should be private, then it becomes a big issue. So now we have this on top of everything else, you know, the Jericho stuff, you know,
The Hardy
WB
drama, man,
stuff.
it's kind of
Just
crazy.
everything.
The Hardy drama is
Everything.
wild over the last 10 years.
I'm just thankful that they're still alive and that it's not like, you know, a Von Erich tragedy or something like that. You know what I mean? Because that would
You want
suck.
it to be?
No, not at all. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's it. Mustafa confirmed hates babies.
Wow.
Apparently you hate babies because you prefer titles more.
What?
You prefer your yeah, I'm assuming your titles are your babies, right? There, Luke?
I can't even begin to describe how horrible that attempt to save whatever.
Not
that
even an
was.
attempt. Wasn't even an attempt. I'm just saying you probably prefer titles over babies, don't you? So human life don't really mean anything to you, but titles do more so.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out
Anyway,
what.
this has been a great episode of Tuesday Night Rage, but I gotta go. I mean,
Go sleep.
Joe,
Or dream about more titles.
You want to continue being Triple H, saying, "Oh, finish the story. It's all about building the story, man." Well, you know what? Just send me my fucking belts.
You
See, this is why he's angry, because he didn't have enough Wawa. That's the problem. Go get some Wawa. Go to sleep.
What is at Wawa?
It's like Quick Check. You know, it's like going to a convenience store, except there's more
I
to
don't
buy.
even, what? Wait a minute. Say the convenience store name again. What was that called?
Well, like Quick Check. Well, there's Quick Check. There's also
We don't have those out here.
couple other chains.
You mean?
Joe, do you have any type of convenience store that's also a gas station? That's also
7-Eleven.
That's also that has a slushy area, that has a food court deli area where they make sandwiches,
Stewart's maybe.
burgers, chicken sandwiches, milkshakes.
You know, those are hard to come by. Like, I mean, like, yeah, Cumberland Farms has like
I remember that one. Yes, when I was in Massachusetts, I went there.
They're hard to come by because they're literally on every fucking street corner in New Jersey now.
Yeah, see, like we don't.
NPA.
It's
NPA.
very it's like very hit or miss. It's like rarer to find a place that does all that. Like, I mean, Cumberland Farms has like the Tosquito things, roll ups, and like the pizza, and they do sub things and stuff like that. So I guess it'd be Cumberland Farms is the closest. But like when I think I had Wawa in Florida. When me and JD were there for WrestleMania. Florida. I think that's on the video, actually. I think we went there. I don't know if that... Oh, no, it was Jack in the Box.
Oh, I was about to say, did you go to the... I was going to say, if you went to the Wawa in Kissimmee, that's where I was literally by before I had to go to Orlando.
But we don't have either one of those here.
You were definitely in a Wawa. I saw it.
Oh, really? Okay. So that is... We don't really... It's a little different. Like, I feel like there's a little bit more food options at a Wawa than out in the Northeast. I don't know why, but out here it's like
more variety, and also they sell like cold pizza that you can bring home and basically kind of like what you would do at it.
It's like, my point is, like, when you go into Cumberland Farms, there's a bunch of stuff they have, but there's always a couple things they don't have. And then if you go into another store like up the street, like whatever fucking another convenience store, they'll have a bunch of stuff and then some of the stuff they don't have that Cumberland has, and they have things that they don't have. But I feel like it sounds like to me when I hear about Wawa that they sort of just got everything in there. So it's like,
and it's funny, depending on which Wawa you go to, sometimes the price might be slightly higher than the other. Like, especially if there's like a gas station or something, which is like an added bonus, they'll up the price.
Listen, what was I gonna say? If you'll probably see a lot more Wawas up there soon, because it's been. I know they're expanding. They're expanding, yeah, and they're going all over. They're getting into North Carolina now, I heard. So Tommy's going to be even fatter. And sooner or later, Joe, you're going to start seeing Wawas in Boston, probably.
Well,
with the Wawa.
We can only hope.
Honestly, I thought Wawa would be a Boston thing, because it sounds like something a Boston piece of trash would say. Like, oh my God, I'm so fucking washed.
Hey, yo, Joe, let's go to the Wawa.
I feel like it'd be more like wacky or something, like a Waggies.
Wicked Wacked.
Wickeds.
Well, you guys have the Packy, right? You have the.
Hey, yo, Joe, we go after the bar. After the bar, we go to the Wawa.
The Packy's just any, little beer store,
Yeah.
Packy stands?
Packy.
No.
Go to the Packy guy. Yo, we got to go down to the fucking Packy guy. What the fuck?
Gotta go to Dunkin'.
I'd like to fudge pack you in.
Oh, dude, they're trying to switch up Dunkin' Donuts to just be straight Dunkin'.
They already did that, you idiot.
Oh, no, they already did it? I thought they were just going to take a little bit more time because they weren't approving it yet.
No,
it's already done?
Oh, my God. They did it 2 years ago.
Dude, because in my area, it's still Dunkin' Donuts.
Its full name is still Dunketh of Donuts, the third. But
okay, ready? Are you ready for this, Mustafa? You ready for this, Mustafa? Now, keep in mind, the first Dunkin' Donuts is where I'm from, right up the street, Quincy.
Right.
But not anymore. I moved, but you know what I mean. But in September of 2018, Dunkin' Donuts announced it would be officially changing the name to Dunkin' by January 2019. New stores, logos, cups, and merchandise would reflect the name change.
Right, but it didn't happen in my area for, if anything, it's still Dunkin' Donuts still in my area. They still haven't changed it.
Yeah, listen, I'm fucking pissed. I was pissed. I was like, dude, Dunkin', like, what the fucking loser? Like, what you gonna change the name of the shit to the nickname? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they're gonna go to McDonald's and call it Mickey.
They had the
D.
And by the way, if they're really gonna change the name to something, it'd be Dunkies, because that's what everybody out here. I'm going to Dunkies. I'm going to Dunkies. Are you going to Dunkies? I'm going to Dunkies. No one says I'm going to Dunkin's.
We call it D&D down here. Just gonna go to.
They had that motto back in 2008. It was "Life's better with Dunkin'."
Yeah,
get a little Dunkin' in you or something, so,
bro. You know what's funny about that?
Dunkin' in you.
Do we go over this? The first Dunkin' Donuts. Not only was it down the street from me, but I've told you guys this before. I went to Quincy High, right? So Quincy High is over here, and then right across the street from Quincy High is the police station, and then right a little bit further, right down the road, you could see it from the police station, of course. The first ever Dunkin' Donuts. There it is.
So that's convenient. So the police officers had a place to go to, literally, if they wanted to get their
So
breakfast.
the cops built the police station near
Really
Dunkin' Donuts.
Really genius commentary right there.
They are, and the layup for Mustafa. Aren't you happy? But dude, it got robbed. It got robbed earlier this year, and I was like, bro, how retarded are you to rob the Dunkin' Donuts
right by a police station,
right in front of the police station in Quincy? It was just crazy. Anyway, also, I mean, so there you go. Things that came from Quincy. John Quincy Adams, 2 presidents, and Dunkin' Donuts, and the.
So, question:
Dunkin' is kind of mid. Although I do like their what is it? The strawberry frosted sprinkle donut. I love those.
I bet you do.
Hey.
Yeah, you know I do. And the what is it? The buttercrumb donuts are fucking great too.
Buttercrumb?
What?
Butter? It's like butter. It's like hazelnut. I don't know. It's like a coconut type fucking donut. Anyway,
I'm scared now.
Yeah, it's called buttercrumb or whatever.
My dog is starting to freak out upstairs because of the wind.
Dude, it's horrible where I'm at.
Jesus Christ.
It is horrible where I'm at, dude. Like, we got that tornadic sort of kind of rain activity that came up from the south and is like aimed towards us, and it's been like crap all day. And it picked up literally by the time it was like 8 o'clock. So it's been literally wind and rain just consistently for the past 4 hours. It's just not stopped.
It's supposed to snow. It's supposed to snow on Monday.
Dude,
yeah.
So we're renovating the entire fucking house on the outside. All the shit just got ripped off, and they had to redo it all today.
Y'all had tornadic activity, didn't you? Right? Didn't y'all have like
Oh, it was just a fucking huge ass. All that wind that's hitting y'all hit us last night.
Right, but there's something going on in the Gulf Coast or something. Like there's like some type of like dry line. Oh my gosh! And there's some type of line as far as like the weather, because apparently there's been a lot of like tornadic warnings.
Gulf Coast. What are they fucking playing golf or something?
That's what it's called, the Gulf Coast.
What do they hit like what do they get, a fucking birdie or something?
They got a birdie. They got a birdie.
The Gulf Coast?
Fucking killing them.
You mean the Gulf Coast?
Yeah, the Gulf Coast.
What's next? They're gonna have the
Gulf
fucking
Coast when you said that.
What are they gonna have, the Tennis Peninsula or something? Fucking hilarious. Double guns.
Hilarious.
My dog. Oh my god, dude! My dog is making the most bizarre, terrified face, staring at the window.
Have you ever wanted? Have you ever? Okay, what I was making my point earlier about Dunkin' Donuts is like, it's food, whatever, dude. The smell of a Dunkin' Donuts just walking in, bro. It is heavenly.
It's amazing.
There are a
amazing.
few stores, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, and what was the other one? Basically any ice cream shop. Just have
Carvel.
Carvel. Just have the best fucking smells, and Annie Ann's too.
Yeah.
I grew up on Carvel, so that's why, like, get people say, "Oh, go to Baskin Robbins." I'm like, screw that, dude. Ice cream sucks, dude.
I've never been to a Baskin Robbins once. That's a very like liberal New York. Anytime I say something from New York, yeah, it's a very liberal thing. It's for libtards.
And you're from New Jersey, which is also a blue state.
Right. You got Krispy
Jersey.
Kreme donuts.
Not this part of Jersey. All I run into is a bunch of
Oh
fucking.
yeah, that's right. Because you're in South Jersey. That's right. Yeah, you're basically down in the Hickville area.
Republicans.
Yeah. A lot of people going. Can you believe this Biden shit? You know what? The other day, this old guy came up to me. He comes up to me and he goes, just randomly, he goes, "Did you hear on the news?" And I'm like, "No, because I don't watch the news." And he goes, "Did you hear? Apparently," he was like a liberal old guy, which is very strange. He's like, "Apparently, the Civil War didn't end or wasn't because of slavery." Can you believe this? And then like another old guy who was sitting next to him with his coffee was like, he's like, "Can you believe what that lady said? Apparently the Civil War had nothing to do with slavery." And
the
then
politician that said it. Yeah.
And then the other old guy that was sitting next to him was like, "Well, she did have a point. And dude, these guys, you could tell, were ready to fucking get into an argument. And I was just like, I was sitting there awkwardly, and
Drinking
eventually,
your coffee.
like the other guy basically was like, how could you say that? And the guy explains it to him like, well, Lincoln, it wasn't originally about just slavery.
Freeing
It
the
was
slaves.
about
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't about that. Lincoln used that as a way, and the guy he was explaining to, basically gives him this "fuck you" look, like you're a fucking idiot look, but I don't want to get at it at a Wawa, like because he wasn't listening to anything he had to say, so he goes, "Well, agree to disagree," and he
Oh my gosh. You passive aggressive dumbass. Like, come on, stop.
Dude, it was so awkward, bro. It's like, dude, why are you coming to a Wawa bringing that shit up in the first place? And then as soon as someone debates you about it, because you look like you want to debate, immediately you go, agree to disagree then.
And honestly, God. Honestly,
that
God,
was like
all the
me
people
in
that
high
were-
school. That was like me in high school just saying like pro-conservative things to fucking piss off my teachers, and then my teachers would be like, actually you're wrong, and they bring up like 3 or 4 facts, and I would just yeah, well, I watched a Ben Shapiro video, so I know more than you. I watched a Steven Crowder prove me wrong video, so I'm a genius now. And then they really put me in my fucking place.
Yo, dude, I swear to God, in South Jersey, and it's true. It's basically a lot of like, again, people from the right, a lot of Republican, deal. But the funny thing is, a lot of the hero worshipers that are in Jersey, like, people like, Bruce Springsteen and people like that, they're Democrats. So they're kind of like confused by going, yeah, we love our country, this and that, but then we love our heroes and they disappoint us because of their beliefs. I'm like, oh my God, guys, dude, you live in a blue state. Yes, yeah, you can be whoever you want. It doesn't matter. Justifying the fact that it's been blue and it's been staying blue for how long? 50. What I mean, I don't know, 50, 60 years, whatever it was. But yeah, come on.
Another thing that happened recently at work today was what was it? I was like working gas, and this guy I like working with wanted to make some small talk with him, and he's like a little bit younger than me, so I'm like, I'm talking. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, what's up? And I'm like, man, I'm sick of like running out of money, man. I always feel like by this point of the weekend, I'm basically got no money. I was just trying to make small talk, and then he just starts talking to me about like, just interrogating me about my life and asking me, how much you make a week? What do you spend that money on? I'm like, and he's like, what else do you spend that money on? Then I say, spend it on, I spend some of my money on weed, and gave me this like look. He gave me this look like he wanted, like I was such a fucking idiot. Like, and then he started explaining to me like, oh, these are the cards you should get. And then, like, he was trying to he was schooling me on like credit. Meanwhile, this kid's 18, I'm 21. I felt like such a piece of shit after having this conversation. And then after he basically tells me, so many people, not saying you, but so many people just want to be average and want to just get stuck in a life. And I'm like, it does kind of seem like you're talking about me. And then somehow the conversation changes to him being like, looking at me and being like, and dude, another thing you should do, sign up with a gym membership. And I'm like, what? Now you're calling me fat? What the fuck?
He's calling you a fat ass at a Wawa while you're pumping gas.
So I literally he's telling me like he's like one of these guys who just sound like constantly does nothing but like talk about the grind, about the work at like, bro, I'm just constantly working. I'm gonna have money, bro, and I'm like, I don't want to be fucking, I'm not gonna retire until I'm, blah blah blah. He wants to like be working so he has enough money to set up his whole life, and that's great for you, but like, please. Do not bore people with your boring fucking motivational speaker speeches rather, with these fucking, it's like a TED talk about how much your life is on track and mine isn't. And then I kind of try to walk away from him, so I'd go to my booth, and then he like kept following me around like the fucking fuel court. making me feel worse and worse about myself. And I'm like, oh, he's like, actually, and then I kind of like try to point out, like, hey, man, you should like, not everything's about work. You're sooner or later you're gonna realize your 20s are gone. You're 30 years old. You don't know what happened. And he's like, oh no, actually, I go to parties all the time. And blah, I actually have a really good social life. And I'm like, okay, then whatever. Your life is fucking perfect. Mine sucks. Is that what you're trying to get out of me? Like, I'm not gonna make a big life change because some guy told me to. Like, yeah. And then he's asking me about like losing weight, and like I'm like, I don't know how we got here, but I told him, like, I am trying to mitigate what I
one
eat.
day I'm gonna make a lot of money and I still call you a fat ass. Like, that's messed up.
I am trying to mitigate what I eat less, and I told him that I'm actually trying to lower a lot of what my calorie intake for the day is. By the way, never tell anybody who's in shape who asks you, oh, what are you doing to lose weight? Never tell them anything. Just don't tell them anything, because whatever you say is going to somehow be fucking wrong, and you're stupid and you look like a dumbass. So I go, oh, I'm trying to lower my calorie intake, stay a little bit more active, lift weights. And like, of course, well, the calories aren't what you have to worry about. The calories aren't what you have to worry about. It's those nitrogen oxide carmicibins, like some fucking just like, oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You really schooled me, guy who's just trying to start losing weight. Next to guy who has a fucking six pack. Yeah, you're right. I gotta look out for those nitroglycerins. Like, I'm such a fucking asshole. You really schooled me there. Thank you for schooling me. What I got from this guy is that he's a well-intentioned dude, but he is definitely the biggest bore. Like, talking to him anywhere is just gonna turn into him ranting about how people like want to be average, and he doesn't want to be average. He wants to be on that grind set. And
Right.
That is and I couldn't escape this conversation. So much so that I made up something. Like I saw my manager, and I thought I just saw him move his arm, but I don't think he was waving towards me. I was like, oh, I think he's calling me in there. I gotta go, And then I told him, hey, can I please work register? I don't want to be told how. I mean, I already know how much of a useless sack of shit I am. From this show. I don't need people at my job now fucking making me feel like shit. And what was worse was that he was 18 and I'm 21, and I felt like an idiot compared to him. I'm like, come on, dude,
crack in front of
seriously.
your Wawas in like 5 years. He's gonna come in 5 years. Hey, guy, you lost weight, and then he's like a crackhead now, and he's fat.
And that happens.
Well, he told me that he used to be. He told me, he's like, no, man, listen, I used to be fat too, and I was like, okay, so what you've so far in this conversation, you've made me feel bad about not having as much money. Made me actually feel bad about working at Wawa, because he's like, you don't want to be stuck working at Wawa forever. Now you tell me I got to go to the gym, and you call me fat.
What a weird
Thanks,
spot.
bud.
That's like Tommy type of stuff. Like, oh, you know something? If you just didn't eat those, you'd probably look good.
But he was talking to me this whole time. He was talking to me like how your health teacher talks to you. You know,
that's so weird.
Just like that. Like he's talking down you. And the fact that he was just chasing me too. It felt like I closed the door on my booth, and he like walked around the other way where it was open. And I was also watching Raw while this was happening, so it was really embarrassing.
You wanted to get Raw with you.
I had to cover my phone. Like, I'm not watching wrestling. That's not me. I don't do that.
Yeah, see, that's what's funny. Back like from 1998 to like 2006, like you could watch wrestling on your phone if phones existed back then, like they do. And it'd be like, yeah, cool. I'm cool because I'm watching wrestling. Now it's like you're hiding it. That's the funniest thing. Will Salkin says it sounds like he was hitting on you.
So maybe it was. No, he wasn't. Trust me, this guy, I'm not gay, but this guy was not hitting on me. Like, you know what I mean? This guy, though, well, because he said he used to be fat, so maybe he doesn't have good confidence in himself.
Will
So
Salkin
maybe he's
said,
like,
yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can rizz up this fat kid and get an easy fuck, you know.
He's fingering himself.
he talking about trying that the only thing he doesn't have right now is having a girlfriend, but he's working on that. And when he goes to college, college girls aren't just impressed easily, and he wants to show what do I got above all those other guys. I'm like, is that why you're doing it? He's like, no. I'm like, well, it sounds like the only reason why you're doing it is to impress women. It's that's good for you, but don't come at me and talk to me about how I got you know what I mean? Make it seem like it's this grander thing that it actually is. It's like, oh, so you want pussy? Okay, good for you, man. I don't understand why people who have their lives. I don't understand why people who have their lives on track feel this need to give a TED talk to everybody.
Yeah, I don't. It's because I don't know. It's one of those things that crosses the line of being helpful, or are you being a cunt?
A douchebag.
Yeah,
just a straight douchebag.
Yeah, but
JF lives.
Maybe they're trying to be helpful, but they just don't know how pretentious or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, it is. It is a.
Yeah.
I could tell it was well intentioned, but he came off like a complete blowhard, or just a kind of delusional self. Grandeur. What's the term?
Yeah, you're making me want to not do everything you're saying.
Honestly, though, I try to keep talking to him. He's like, so what you got to do is you got to get a Wells Fargo card, and then you got to. He's telling me about credit and stuff, and because I told him I don't really know. No, I know he's trying to help me with that. But the way he's talking to me is he kind of is like, so what are you doing now with he was talking to me like my fucking uncles talk to me. Like your dad. It's what do you, yeah.
Is he
he's 18 years old.
Well, that's crazy that he's 18. That's weird. That's something I would say to you, but I'm fucking 39.
And he's got he's showing me the thousands of dollars he has in stocks right now. I was not only annoyed because he was talking kind of down to me. I was also extremely jealous of him.
Maybe he's autistic.
I kept just giving him these responses yeah, man, it's fucking cool, dude.
Oh God!
I mean, don't be like me,
Says, hey man, I just bought my 6th car this week.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, dude. What?
He's yeah, man. Look at me. Look at me.
Did you you need? What do you need? Credit cards? Is that what you have a credit thing?
No, I just don't have a credit card. I have a debit card from my bank, and I have.
Did he tell you to get a secured credit card? Is that what he was telling you?
He was just telling me to probably move because the bank I'm using isn't very good. He's like, well, go to Wells Fargo, and I was listening to him to that point, but then there's points where
I'm going to tell you right now what to do, real quick.
More and more pretentious.
I'm going to tell you what to do.
And then he just started talking to me like my uncle would about. So what are you planning on doing 5 years down the line?
Yeah, it's what the fuck yourself? Who are you? You fucking asshole weirdo. Maybe it was your dad reincarnated into this 18-year-old fucking guy's head, and you should have taken the fucking advice.
What was my dad doing? My dad had a fucking failed AC company he started. Apparently he tested top 6 in HVAC in the entire country, and then he had his own company, and then it went bankrupt. And then a lot of other things happened. And then eventually he taped up the fucking windows thinking that the FBI was watching him. But that was another time.
I bet that guy, that 18-year-old, by the way, I bet he might even be a little autistic. But if he's not, he probably has a father who's really uptight and rich and all these other things, and he beats that into that kid's head for so long.
Well, it's the Jersey Shore, so there's a lot of kind of yuppies that are around.
Yeah, so that kid has known all that stuff forever. And because he's in a Wawa, he's looking down on you a little bit, but not on purpose and in a mean way. But he's like, well, you work at Wawa, so he's like, anything I can say to you is going to help you, obviously. And he just started dumping all the knowledge that his father has been pounding into his head for years. And I've met people like this, young people who are like, well, what you got to do is this, and you're like, how the fuck do you know all this shit? And it's because their father. But no, so Luke, so what you do is you go get a secured credit card. You get a secured credit card, which is where you put your own money onto a card that's a credit card, and it's stupid, but for some reason when you do that and you pay, it's you actually build credit, and it creates credit. And the reason why
He was telling me to sign up for an American Express so I could start getting rewards.
Wait a minute,
'Cause
but
he's
you
telling me immediately when
you
someone
can't
brings
get
up
one, though.
percentages.
You can't get one,
immediately
though.
when
You can't get an American Express card unless he's talking about a secured card.
I think he's just talking about like a savings card.
Yeah, because well then he's talking about a secured credit card because you don't have any credit. Like Leah, I told you this before, but Leah had no credit for the year before we moved into this house. Leah had no credit. And what I did was Leah's like, I have no credit. I'm like, what? You're fucking 30. You have no credit? What are you talking about? She's like, I don't have any credit. And I was like, okay, let's try to do something. And she couldn't. They had no credit. And she's like, yeah, you can't get a loan. You can't get a card, nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I went on MyFico, the website. It's like a site that finds your credit score. And I'm like, well, I'm going to pay for your credit score. And I tried to pay for her credit score, and it said non-existent. Like, wouldn't even give a score. And I was like, what the fuck? I've never seen that. And so when we searched her Social Security card and all these other things, nothing. So I'm like, wow, you really have no credit and no history of anything, and you're fucking 30 years old. I got her a secured credit card in fucking 6 months. I think it was 6 or 4 months. 6 or 4 months. She had a goddamn 800 credit score, and it helped with so much shit, and she started getting all this shit, and that's it. That's all it took was to get that secured credit card going.
And speaking of all this credit and stuff, and like, I'll get back to it in a sec, but speaking of all this credit, and we're talking money, you know what money needs to do? I fucked up that one. Fuck. What I was trying to transition
let me interrupt
to
you
is just
before you
donate
can
more
reset.
money. Donate more money to the show because tonight's show has been going on a little bit long. I know we're kind of almost wrapping it up soon, but I mean, who knows if you donate another 150, 200, I mean, Joe might just go crazy. He might the belts, the 2 titles might be shipped tonight. Who knows? I mean, can we see another big donation bomb? Wouldn't it be insane? Wouldn't it just be insane?
It's donation time, motherfucker, boy.
If like a $500 donation came through, I know that's not going to happen, but it could. Couldn't
Well, I'll
it?
give you Sith. I'll give you Sith's number.
Sif doesn't have to do. I mean,
Well, let me tell you something else though.
Even 200, even 300, even 100 tonight. Just another 100 or 100, 200.
You might.
I mean, that would be a victory.
Luke, you might not want a credit card right now because honestly, if you got that secured card for and you paid it off and for like 4 months and then you got access to credit, you might run into fucking what I did back in the day, which I'm back in now again. By the way, I never thought I'd be back here. Back in the day when I had tons of credit cards all stacked up and my life was fucked. And then when I got successful on YouTube and I paid everything off, I never thought I'd be back to where I am now, which is like $900 a month in credit bills.
Yo, Joe.
Well, I just see so many people. I don't want to be the guy who has 30 different credit cards and he's shuffling through each and every one of them at the fucking front line. There's 20 people behind him. He's like, oh, sorry, I have $2 on this one. I have $7 on this one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're trying to buy a fucking case of soda. Just get it over with, please, before I kill you and everybody in this store. Yeah, and also I just want to, Will Salkin. He's like, yeah, he definitely has no friends because he's clearly an insufferable douche. I don't know about a douche because I have talked to this guy. He does seem nice. What I got from him was that he's a well-intentioned guy. He's a well-intentioned guy, but he's a bit of a bore. Just one of those people who you're talking to at a party. And you're kind of like, you're just like, you're listening to music. You're talking to them like, hey, yo, have you seen that? You see that new Spider-Man movie? Oh, no, man, I don't watch those types of movies. I don't have any time to watch those types of movies, dude. I am just working. Listen, like, Spider-Man, all that stuff, that was cool when I was like, 14, 15? I don't have time for that stuff anymore.
More like when he was 4. When he was 14 and 15, he's probably studying like stock trends and dividends.
Yo, Joe, I just got this tweet. A buddy of mine just sent me this. Apparently, Bischoff is going to be doing a podcast, like I guess like tomorrow or something like that, or Thursday, and he's going to be putting it out based upon all the tweets that have been happening tonight.
Behind 3 paywalls.
I know. Right. Well, he said that apparently that he's not, but who knows? Well, he's getting paid in NWO merch. I know that for a fact. He tweeted that out.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's getting a percentage off that. Not much, but a little bit.
He's getting like $80 a month.
probably.
I'll take it.
Well, like Kevin Nash and like Hogan and X-Pac, they're all getting like like obviously probably a bigger percentage, but not as much as you know.
Probably not, because it was his brainchild. He's the one who came up with it. He was essentially the fourth biggest face in that company, or not company, in the faction. Like when you think of the NWO, who do you think of? You think of Hogan, you think of Nash, you think of Hall, and then you think of Bischoff. You think of Bischoff just laughing, being like,
well, Bischoff came later. But yeah, as far as
I know
NXT,
he came
absolutely.
later. I know he came later, but he was the brainchild, and then he was also, when he did join, he was practically one of the leaders of the faction. Nobody remembers that X-Pac or Six was in the group. They just know that X-Pac is known as the guy that's just there. If you want to shit on anybody, Road Dogg, you want to shit on Road Dogg, and he just, how dare he compare himself to but like compare like X-Pac compared to fucking Road Dogg. X-Pac is definitely just another guy in the background. Like no matter what era he is.
X-Pac really was an innovative as far as, again, being a very small guy, and actually was one of the ring generals that basically says, hey, if you could have a good match with the kid, 1, 2, 3 kid, you could have a good match with anybody. And he was that even after he left WWE to go to WCW, same thing in WWE. And
what I mean is, like, I don't view him as one of the faces of NWO. Like, so I wouldn't see him being I was going on a little bit of a comedic rant about X-Pac being I keep wanting to call him X-Pac.
X-Punk.
I was going on a bit of a comedic rant. I know, but X-Pac definitely was kind of the what is it? The Marty Jannetty of both groups, he's there. Yeah, he's that guy.
And he was mainly in it because he was in the Click.
That was one of my favorite ones. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But
yeah, dude, he was in the Click. He was,
I'm a different kind of. I'm a different kind of.
Let me ask you guys something.
You like him because he looks like a scum. He looks the same type of scumbag that you
got. Because he had a
would sneak you into this country.
Wrestling. That's what it was.
I like them because he smelled like the river, and I like the barang.
I have no idea what you're saying, dude. You're having a stroke.
Trying to sound like an Indian guy from
Guys,
Pretzels got to your fucking side.
We got to get to the bottom of this.
By the way,
we got to get to the bottom of this.
Darguts, why are Hispanic people who, why are they so fucking holly jolly with their fucking friends? It's annoying.
They are so happy. Angry motherfuckers. So like I said, my house has been renovating. All I fucking hear is, "A la verga, bitch away! Get the fuck up here! Fucking fuck you, fuck you, fuck you!" That's
no. When they're fixing shit, dude, the guy who came to fix
so miserable.
The guy who came and fixed our doors, he came with his son, and him and his son were here for days, and it was his son who kind of talked like this, like, "Come on, Dad, like we can be," and he would just yell at his son constantly. He would stretch like obnoxiously, so you would hear him stretch, and he'd go. And then he'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You fucking." And then I'll be like, "Oh, is everything okay?" And he's like, "Oh, no, it's all fine."
This is not just Hispanic people. I got to tell you, the people that worked on the addition to my mother's house, to my house, the room that I lived in, it was built in 2004. It was 4 guys. It was a dad, and I believe, and 3 brothers, and they were the ones. They were white Irish guys, and they were like, "You fucking fag cunt fuck," and they were like, they called each other crazy shit. They were yelling. At one point, I was like, Jesus, the whole fucking neighborhood can hear everything these guys are saying, and I'm sitting there skipping school playing Halo, and they're like, you fucking, you would like that stupid slut. What happened to fucking that slut? Yeah, she'd suck cock, bro. Her fucking face was like cum was in her. Like, it was just all day, and I was listening. They're like screaming, "Hey, you dropped the fucking thing again! I told you, fucking you cut it this way. What are we gonna do now? That's fucking not right. You fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. Fuck yourself. Fuck you. Why don't you go cry to mom again, you fucking pussy fuck?"
And then you're just nervous. You're just nervous. Like, you're kind of like, oh no, please don't call my name. Please don't ask me to come.
I was nervous that any minute I was gonna hear a gunshot or something. Like, I couldn't tell it. Like, it sounded.
I would hear it because I would hear him yelling at his son, like, "What the fuck are you?" I'm like, "Oh my god, no!" He's gonna he's gonna call one of us in to help. I'm like, I just didn't want to talk to him. You know what I mean? And especially when you're yelling all the time.
I was nervously listening. And real quick, by the way, this is really fucking pissing me the fuck off. And I want to know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Look at these referees. What the fuck do you see that's wrong here?
Waiting for it to pop up on the stream. So.
Oh well, yeah.
I got it.
You let me know when you see what the fuck is wrong with.
There's only one woman.
No,
one black guy.
No. Yeah, you would say that.
Well, one, it's missing. Well, they're all bald. A lot of them are bald.
Yeah, except Mike Posey. It looks like a horse who takes up the ass.
Yeah, I got it now. Paul Turner has the worst looking fucking outfit ever. Like, Paul Turner's looks like a goddamn set of pajamas that you would wear.
Looks like a jacket.
Well, actually, you're getting kind of close there.
Brandon Martinez has.
Brandon Martinez.
There you go. There you go. Garguts wins. Garguts wins. Why is Brandon Martinez wearing a fucking WWE referee shirt? Why is his different than all the others? Why?
Do these referees get traded to different companies?
Why are why are all the referees with the big fat stripes that look stupid, by the way, and then Brandon Martinez gets a normal referee shirt?
Right. I saw a video of a really hot. I saw a video of like a really hot chick, and she was kind of like shoving her ass in the fucking camera, and then like she spun around, and then she was in her WWE referee uniform, and that was really hot. Aubrey Edwards gives me.
You notice that
Aubrey Edwards gives me a negative reaction to that.
You notice the more boring the referee looks, the better the referee is in these photos. Anybody else notice that? Like,
yep.
Although Bryce Remsburg is kind of throws that whole thing off, I guess. But look at Aubrey. She's like fabulous.
She so wants attention. Like, that's the most attention-seeking one.
Yeah, like, of all the photos, why are you... Like, she looks like she wants to fuck.
Mike Foley? Or no, not Mike Foley.
Mike Posey looks like a horse that takes it up the ass.
My name's Mike Posey. Looks like a fucking idiot. Bryce Elm. Yeah, Bryce kind of looks like he's posing like he's Ludwig Kaiser. And then, they're just kind of a lame-looking group, to be quite honest with you. I don't know.
I think Steven Smith is one of the better referees of all of them, the black ref. He's actually one of the better ones. He's got to be one of the best.
Who would win in a fight? WWE referees or AEW referees?
AEW.
I don't know, man. I got to look at the WWE referees again.
AEW.
By the way,
all right,
that video that I'm telling you about, with the wrestler, with the referee shoving her ass in the fucking camera, and then she spins around and it like transitions to her in her outfit.
Yeah.
That's on the WWE Figures YouTube channel. That YouTube channel, it's a WWE channel, does nothing but post pretty much softcore porn. Like it's like women just shoving their ass in the camera. They're cursing too. Like they like say fucking shit on the camera. Like it is just softcore porn. And then not only that, they'll like post these pictures of like Zelina Vega, like AI sends like photoshops where she's like crawling on top of Santa Claus. Like this is the shit that their actual YouTube channel releases. Like I don't know. I don't understand how the fuck that shit goes by like a modern day WWE, but I guess because now it's under the Endeavor rule, it's a little bit more edgy. Anyway, what were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
Me?
You said something about Steven Smith. You were like, Steven
Oh,
Smith.
yeah, he was. I just think he's the toughest referee in AEW from what I can look at.
black.
And then he just look. No, I just think he's built to fight. Like his arms are big and stuff. The others don't have that. And I'd say Mike Knox is number 2, the older white guy who's tall, because he just looks like like he's an asshole. The rest of them don't really look very tough. And when you look
Rick
at
Knox?
and when you look at the WWE referees, they look like fruit cakes, kind of.
They do.
Like
You got Baby Flair.
Yeah, they don't look. I mean, maybe this guy. I don't know. Like they don't look. They don't look very intimidating. Like I guess Jack Cone, right? Is he still there?
I was gonna say Jack Cone. Yeah.
What about that? Remember that guy who used to be like roided up in NXT, the roided up referee, all fucking ripped and shit, and the Indian ripped guy too.
Was he always tan? The tan guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that tan one.
I guess. I guess you know what I'd say about the WWE referees. I would say they're smarter. Like they honestly look like a bunch of geeks who could build a fucking space shuttle for some reason. You know, the AEW.
Well, they're gonna need help because that space shuttle.
Well, this is outdated. This is outdated. Half these guys I don't even think work.
Really,
That's
they're
the
all
scratch
gone.
logo WWE on them. They don't have that scratch logo anymore.
Yeah.
That one looks like fucking Guga.
Whoa! You can't. What'd you say?
What'd you call the black one?
Not the black one, the Asian one.
Oh my god!
Guga.
It looks like a frog.
What'd you say?
No, it cooks steaks. YouTuber, he cooks steak.
Gookie.
Gook in my eye.
Gooka.
Thorn in my eye.
You say the guy's name's Gooker? Is that what you just said?
It's called the one.
Are
It's
you
called
saying
Charles
that's
Robinson. Did you
what
just
the
call
fuck?
Charles Robinson a Jew?
No. Oh my god! Have you seen Carmelo's photo on the WWE website?
Can I see?
Oh my god!
Carmella?
I don't care how fake or whatever anything else is on her. She is like, it is like cum fucking sandwich. Like I don't.
Her pregnant photos made me aroused.
That's crazy, bro. She is unbelievable. Like it's too bad she's pregnant because like
She already had the baby.
Yeah, she already had the baby, dude.
Oh, that's right. Well,
Her pregnant photos were hot though.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Like it's why couldn't she wait to have a kid for another 5 years and have a little more sexy time run?
Well, her face is a little kind of like
Hmm.
vacant. Like it kind of looks like a like a
Well,
CGI monster
she's
face.
getting older now. You know, all the girls are starting to get older, right? Like
It's
Leah.
crazy. Alexa Bliss is in her 30s.
Dude.
I remember when she was still 25.
Leah said.
I remember when
Leah the
shit, I
other
remember
day,
when
she's
Liv
like-
Morgan was working at Hooters in Paramus.
Leah was like the other day. She goes, "I'm 36." I'm like, "Yep, you're done. You're done on the everywhere. You know, you're over that spot."
Tiffany Stratton is also very hot. So is Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley. I like her. Oh my God, Indy Hartwell is so fucking nice looking. I love Indy Hartwell. Yum. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. I like to fucking cummy.
Oh
That was
my
my little
God.
song I've been making.
What the hell? What the fuck?
You got problems.
Does
dude. My God.
WWE put
Hey,
the
do you think-
referees up on their pages?
No, they don't. They think of them as second-class citizens.
They really do. They don't give a fuck about their referees.
Dude, they'll give the fucking announcer like Samantha, whatever the fuck her name, Samantha Irvin. They'll
Yeah.
give her a fucking title.
Yeah,
she's sexy too.
Why
I
doesn't
fucking-
the WWE put the
It was
referees?
her birthday
up?
yesterday.
How much did you want Logan Paul to rape her at SummerSlam?
Oh my God! What are you, Sammy Guevara?
Oh shit.
Rips off her yellow dress.
You know, remember Sammy Guevara goes to WWE training with all the wrestlers and women wrestlers. Then he goes on fucking Scampoli's show and says, "I wanted to rape her." Fucking idiot! What a stupid
Scampoli.
idiot! Remember how dumb he was for doing that?
Scampoli. Of course, he went on Scampoli's show.
Who the fuck goes on Scampoli?
Remember when that happened? Like, no, that was no. Listen, it was an old
Dude,
clip, but like it was.
Remember when
just
Scampoli
crazy.
used to talk about monetize this? Remember when
Yeah.
Scampoli used to talk about monetize this on his show where thousands of people watched, and then he deleted that video that he talked about it because he said he wanted to beat up your wife.
Yeah, well, he felt. I think he felt bad. He was like, "Oh, because he likes us.
Didn't
so.
you say that his wife? Didn't you say that his wife runs his account or something?
No, that's a different person.
I don't know what the fuck, how that happened, but he went against you about your wife.
No, that was a different person. You're thinking of Rocky.
Who the fuck
Yeah,
is
Rocky. You're thinking when Rocky fought Apollo for the second time.
I can't believe WWE doesn't give the referees a spot on their thing. That's fucking crazy. They're fucking assholes. Like, Vince is gone now. Why wouldn't Triple H be like, well, we're putting the referees up there? Okay. I mean, what AEW does is obnoxious with their referees, but WWE is all the opposite. They're just.
I think it's just like best you don't know who they are.
I guess, but.
I'd rather see the AEW referees versus the UFC referees. That'd be great.
Well, you know what happens with that. Come on.
What, drugs?
Probably rapings. All right, we're out of here. We've been on for a long time. We're all dead.
Someone donate real quick. Come on, please donate.
That's
money.
Luke.
Come on.
That's Luke begging.
for me.
Not me
Donate
begging.
for me.
Donate for my
Donate
penis.
for the Maharaja.
Donate for my cock.
What?
Yes, you want my cock. Yes, you do. I know you want my cock. I know you do. Yes, you want the cock. Yeah.
Pour out my private part. Jinder Mahal will rape you.
I'll dump my big
Maharaja.
But at
I
least
dumped
he didn't
my
lose
big-
$1 million.
Put
You
my
want to
big
taste of
hogger
my-
in you.
You want a taste of my big gulp? Yes.
What the fuck?
The big gulp.
Well, I thought you said big goat, but okay.
Or double gulp.
Take the goat.
Take my goat and fuck it. Fuck my
Mustafa
goat.
fucks children. Mustafa fucks children.
Oh
Sorry.
no, my God. Oh my God. That is crazy. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. And big shout out to Mustafa Lies and the Ghost from the Coast. And D. Welsh, who dropped $150 together to be the top donos touching dicks with each other. It's amazing. Become a patron on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show to get the behind the scenes. And we could use $25 producers. We love you. Long time. I'm Joe Cronin. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't feel good. Bleh. I'll see everybody in hell. Goodbye. 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 Garguts might be live. I don't know. Check it out.